Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Upsurge. The Tide has brought you on into another good old game of my favorite league, the Contendies. And my name, of course, is Travesty. I'm joined here by Augusta Posey making his grand debut. And we got an interesting game here in front of us here, buddy.
Yeah, the stream game's gotten swapped around a few times, but this one should be a fantastic matchup between Team Behavior Check and the Scarlet Buckeyes from the Ohio State University. So I'm pretty excited to see because these teams, their champion pools overlap pretty substantially for certain roles. So it should be a lot of fun to see what they end up doing.
Yeah, and we are into the pick and ban already. Couple bans already flying on through. Echo being banned away. Fiora and Yuumi and Zoe as well. Yuumi talked about these a little bit already at Bay here.
Yeah, we saw that. Yuumi was I Enjoy Losing's most played support in solo queue, and even though Yuumi did get nerfed, a lot of teams still just say you just don't want to deal with the cat. And Zoe being banned away from bad mid laner XD as his most played champion, and for the side of Team Behavior Check here, these bans are just things that are strong right now that have gotten buffed. Echo, Fiora, Galio all got buffed to where Fiora can queue towers now and all sorts of crazy things going on here. But these picks and bans are just coming through rapid fire right now.
I was about to say, you're talking about buff, and you're not even talking about the buffest man on the screen, Pantheon over here flexing. He's ready to get into the action, and we're going to have to see what the response is going to be. Kai'Sa, Thresh locked in, and Swain. I don't know about you, man, but I love me some Swain support in the Thresh, and that is a matchup we could possibly see here.
Yeah, Swain is like a four-way flex pick. He can go top, he can go mid, he can play both roles in the bottom lane. And, if his Q did more damage to monsters, he could probably jungle just fine as well. So we'll have to see exactly where that Swain ends up going. And Akali being locked in, even after the nerfs directly aimed at competitive play situations like this, Behavior Check says, you know what? We'll still take Akali. We'll still take the hip-hop rapping, dancing assassin in the mid lane. Or maybe top. You never know.
I was about to say, there's a lot of flexibility, actually, with this composition that they've given themselves. We don't know exactly where anything is going for the most part, but here we go. Rumble being picked up immediately here. And that's also another flex pick that could possibly coming out as we're going into the second round of ban phase.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa, very strong AD carry, and it's Riveral's most played champion by a wide margin so far this season. Thresh, very flexible, can engage, can disengage, can make picks, can do just about anything you need him to. Rumble, very strong team fight presence, and more AD carries being banned out by the Buckeyes here, targeting out Mr. Shuffles here on the side of Behavior Check, with Ezreal and Jhin being banned out here. His two most played ADCs not named Kai'Sa.
It is true. It is true. Go ahead and ban him on away. Pinch the AD carry pool. I'll be curious to see what they end up locking in for themselves over here if you're the Buckeyes looking over across the way.
Yeah, I'll have to see what Icelandic hero ends up taking here after they pinch the jungle pool a little bit away from him. You gotta see what's going on, because that's Sejuani, but tried and true, there's Gragas. You ban away Sejuani, you're thinking something that does magic damage that can engage. The Fat Man is the perfect pick for that. So should be very strong. Brings a lot of more assured engage rather than just landing a Thresh hook. Gragas just flying on in there, allowing Thresh and Rumble to follow up. Very strong team comp so far for Ohio State being put together here.
This tells us a lot here. The Rek'Sai being picked up immediately. Now we look at this Pantheon, we're like, this could be a Pantheon in the mid lane or in the top lane. Nobody knows just yet. This last pick will show us for sure, as predominantly you do see Rek'Sai inside of the jungle and decided to see a very aggressive jungler come out.
Yeah, solo lane Rek'Sai is something you wouldn't see in solo queue, and Nectin being locked in, so is this a Swain Pantheon bottom lane?
This might be a Swain Pantheon bottom lane here. It could go a lot of different ways. It could be Swain Renekton too if you really want to go that route, but I think Swain Pantheon is the most common answer there. Fiona being picked up on the other side, so Buckeyes get that, but Let's go over to this composition here. This is going to be a very interesting game already because we aren't 100% sure on which champions are going well still after seeing all the champions picked.
Yeah, and the way swing support can go down, some people play it just like a support. They go in, help push the wave, do their CC, but the way the AP support item goes, they can get a pretty good gold income for themselves and end up building just straight up, just like a normal Swain would, building Rod of Ages and things like that. And, Pantheon being a melee champion can very easily pick up the Targon, so it could be just a double support item bottom lane where Pantheon just gets the CS that he can with it, gets the rest of the CS while Swain pokes to try to get the support item quest completed. And then Akali and Renekton, both very strong laners. We'll have to see how well Akali can function against the Qiyana with these nerfs that have come out in this last round. And then Rek'Sai brings a lot of early pressure just wherever she decides to be ganking. So the team comp is very interesting, and I'm interested to see how the bottom lane plays out, whether they go for the double support item or not.
I'm going to be watching as well in regards to that because it's like you said, seeing the double support item. I've actually seen it a lot whenever I hop in a game. I'm like, what are all these guys doing in my bot lane? Get them out of here. I don't know what I am trying to expect. I've been playing Swain support, and I feel like I'm trolling every time I do. Over on the other side, though, man, this is going to be a very explosive team fight. I'm going to be looking over here from the Buckeyes. These guys, they're not a team fight. When they all hit 6, they're online.
Yeah, this is kind of the Clutch Gaming special here. We've seen Huni play a ton of Rumble, we've seen Damonte play a ton of Qiyana, and we know that both those ultimates that those champions possess can completely win a team fight. So having both of them together, plus the pick potential that Gragas and Thresh bring, and Kai'Sa following up with her ultimate as well, just means that if someone gets caught out, there's a lot of different things that can follow up for the Scarlet Buckeyes here. So it's going to take some good piloting on the side of Behavior Check, I think, to actually make this team comp fully work. But if they get going, we all know what happens when Renekton gets a lead. We all know what happens once Akali gets a lead. And even though Rek'Sai is more early game focused, if she gets a big lead, she will dominate the early and mid game as well. So a lot of snowball potential for Team Behavior Check, and more of a traditional team comp for the Scarlet Buckeyes, but a lot of explosive teamfight action with the supreme display of talent and Equalizer.
Yeah, they honestly have a composition where they're just like, all right, let's hold on to our seats. Let's not let them get hypey and just run all over us. Buckeyes, their objective, simple and clean. Like you said, man, team fight. You get online with your levels, your items, and you have a composition that will work very well into this if they do not get a lead. That's going to be very, very much so important to keep our eyes on. We're going to have to keep an eye on the jungle pressure here because I feel like that's going to be very important towards the snowballing of these lanes.
Yeah, both these champions very capable of making things happen in the early game. Both Gragas and Rek'Sai, very strong early game potential here. Gragas did get some changes to the W damage, so his clear is a little bit slower than it otherwise would be, but overall, still the same. Still the Fat Man come out of nowhere, body slamming you, paralyzing you, just like it's Pokemon. And
absolutely,
a lot of playmaking potential on both sides, but obviously the focus is going to be this bottom lane. It looks like Swain did take heal, and Pantheon took ignite, and Swain is being played by the quote-unquote AD carry player in these shuffles, so he may just be Swain in the bottom lane, where he just takes the farm, takes Doran's Ringer Corrupting Pot, and just farms like a carry would. So, but there's still a possibility he would go the support item, build that up, but you never know.
It could, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break. We will be right back with the hot and fresh Contendees action. Don't touch that browser. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the hot, the freshest, the contendies, also known as the UCL for all those other people that don't want to call them the contendies. We got behavior check going, taking on the Buckeyes over here, and we are already seeing a spicy start here, Gus.
Yeah, they're coming on down here in the bottom lane looking for it. Shuffles should see him, but he's got an interesting path to get out.
Oh no, that's a death sentence. That is actually going to be his death there. He might be Shuffles, but he was shuffling around in the graveyard for now.
Yeah, so nice invade coming out. We'll get Gragas the first blood. He should be able to back and either buy the other part of his jungle item or just boots. Got the Predator nice and early. Just has to wait on the cooldown at the start of the game for that. So that's very good for Gragas. But interesting, we were talking about whether the Swain would go the support item, and he did. So double support item in the bottom lane. So this bottom lane is less about farming and more about Swain poking people and letting Pantheon do what he can. So
yeah, that's going to be a very important thing to take note of as we are looking at everything in the game. Interesting thing to take note of is no summoners were burned by behavior check. The only summoner was burned from the Buckeyes was the Ignite from Cleveland, which of course he didn't pick up the kill. That's a kill that goes over to Icelandic Hero. As we're getting right back into the game. You and me were in Champ Select, though, and I got to ask you right now about this Renekton into Rumble matchup, because this is an old school matchup that you and me are both used to seeing.
Yeah, very old school matchup, and picking Rumble on red side into Renekton is always a challenge as another hook comes out.
Shuffles, no! Icelandic Hero is going to pick up yet another kill on the Shuffles, and he is not enjoying his time on the Swain here.
Yeah, being a hook magnet here so far in the early game. Not what you want to see. Fortunately, he's not really trying to farm early on anyway. He just wants to get his support items stacked up. So, not the end of the world. But now you have a 2-0 Gragas already at 2 minutes into the game. And that's the thing, ever since they changed Gragas, and he's going for level 2 gank.
Yeah, he has this power too because he did that invade. He gets the path that forces bad mid laner to actually just go on back and burn his flash. But here we go, Rek'Sai's over here into the top side looking to try and get a gank going. They're going to burn both of their sums to try and jump onto him. Are you going to be okay? He will.
Just so much action.
And it's going on in the bot lane. Ignite is used, going to be able to dodge that javelin toss and is going to be a-okay in the bot lane.
Wow, just so much action.
At mid laner, he's getting jumped onto here too. That's a lot of damage being thrown back, and Shuriken's not going to be able to catch the Mart there, not hitting him with that kunai knives.
Yeah, and that's kind of an example of Rumble. And what happens in lane is your Flame Spitter makes you push, but Icelandic Hero just going ham.
Body slam Predator is not going to be enough to seal his fate, but it is going to be enough for him to say, all right, maybe I should recall right now.
Yeah, and Icelandic Hero just taking over the game so far. He is absolutely everywhere, doing everything he can, and there's Renekton doing Renekton things.
And you can, there you go, look at that, the mid laner even goes ahead and rums on up to just give him that extra bit of assurance. But if we're looking at how everything is going right now, definitely in the favor of the Buckeyes here. They're definitely feeling comfortable getting that early bit, especially about the win conditions that you and me were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, they just have a relatively standard compared to what Behavior Check is running team comp with a Kai'Sa who will eventually become really strong later on in the game, and the team fight pressure as bottom lane just keeps going for trades.
Yeah, I think this is a mistake here. They are finding themselves in a bad situation. They're throwing out the lantern, maybe trying to bait, hey, our jungler is here, which will be true here very shortly.
Yeah, and one thing laning against Pantheon you have to remember is that his Q does execute damage. And, you know, long. He can make it long range as well, but flash out coming in.
Oh, here we go. The TP is going to be used down here in the bot lane. Going to be able to get a lot of damage onto Cleveland. I enjoy losing. Is going to be enjoying his blood on his spear.
Can they get the shutdown?
Over. They're trying to get the shutdown goal, but not going to be able to secure that here.
And just so far, this game has just been fight after fight after fight. Both teams just fighting over and over again, expending teleports down in the bottom lane. You know, Rumble doing his best to try and answer with a plate, but unable to get it. Plate goes down in the bottom lane, but even still, Ohio State still has a gold lead after all that.
Check this out, though. Look at the lane swap that's actually
Oh,
gone
no!
down. Oh,
Axel!
no, Axel! No! I take my eyes off the jungler for one moment. This is what happens.
Yeah, Rek'Sai can do the Raptors, but you really want to have your jungle item, or at least the Hunter's Talisman, for it, just because those little Raptors just do so much damage so quickly that it's just better to have the Talisman for the AoE healing you get off of it. It's always sad to see a jungler die to a camp because, you know, you never want that to actually happen.
No, you don't want to die to a monster. It's almost worse. I would consider it worse than dying to a champion at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that, yeah, it was totally my bad. I have no other choice but to own that one. Now,
especially when it's a camp you know that it's tough to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know you don't have the correct tools for it.
The damage going out to this Kai'Sa here, Gus.
Yeah, and that's just the power of the Swain Pantheon. You know, Pantheon's still an early game champion just like he used to be even after the rework. And now he doesn't crit when you're at low health. Now his Q just does execute damage. So, always a threat.
Always ever so a threat. There's the eye being popped there. Getting those crows, those little baby dragons perched up on the well. Oh, missed smite there. Thankfully the right side wasn't going for anything there, as that could have been awkward. But he's going to secure that. So that's a Mountain Drake going over to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and you know, not what you want to see in the super early game part. It helps with plates, I guess, but early on, you know, when you want an early dragon, you want it to be that Ocean Drake for that regen. Later on, Mountain becomes very helpful, especially once it gets time for the Baron. Being able to do that extra damage to the Baron, always helpful.
And interesting thing to take note of is we will see a little bit of the junglers in top side and mid lane here is looking like they're having a little scuffle, wanting to get a hold of that ever so lovely Scuttlebug. So it's Kiro saying, back off, mid laner. It's mine.
Yeah, and back to the Renekton Rumble.
Hold on. This is going to be...
Just kidding, we're fighting.
Luigi going on in, but down in the bot lane, Riverell going to take the lantern to get to safety. Bad mid laner in a bad spot. Going to get stunned on up, but is not going to be in a position where they can capitalize on it. As no blood will be shed, only a couple scratch marks.
Yeah, and you know, it's always rough to see Renekton down CS, even though he's got the waves.
Here we go. Here's the dive.
Here we go.
I enjoy losing.
Equalizer's ready.
The Ignite is there, and that is going to be a red buff transfer complete. Shuffles is trying to get out of harm's way, but that's going to be a huge body slam that is just going to secure their fate.
Yeah.
Icelandic Hero is a god right now.
He is the hero right now. You know, Behavior Check tried to make something happen down there, but the Buckeyes were ready. Brought down a Lamau Zedong with the teleport. He had the equalizer ready. Icelandic Hero came in, landed that fantastic flash double body slam on the blast cone. The equalizer went down just to make sure. It wasn't really even needed, and you know, everything's coming up Buckeyes so far in this game.
Check this out, Luigi just used his Ignite and just forced mid laner, just like, nope, I'm out, nope, not gonna do this to me today. That is huge though, as this bot lane now, 2-0-3 Kai'Sa. I believe everybody here has seen a Kai'Sa get to this point and has had the nightmares of it.
Yeah, we'll see what build she ends up going for. Has the pick, okay, so she just bought out the Man Immune right now. You know, you never know what a Kai'Sa is going to end up doing. I still see Kai'Sa's rush Rage Blade and just kind of chill on that. I see some go Storm Razor still, but I've even seen some go Essence Reaver first and just use that in place of the Man Immune. So there's a lot of different ways you can get to 180, 100% bonus attack speed, and 100 AP, but everyone has their favorite way of doing it.
You know, it's a champion good with items, they say. Oh, and here comes the Descendant connecting on to bad mid laner. He's going to find himself inside the bots, but not going to break one of these walls. He's trying to hide inside the Shroud as much as possible. Now they're going to look to counter-engage this as Pantheon makes his entrance on in. It is going to be Icelandic Hero. He's ready. Not going to be able to catch anybody with that body slam. And Descendant is not going to be able to catch anybody over that. Aggressive moves being made by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, you saw bad mid laner just try to not get close to a wall. Knew the Supreme Display talent was ready and didn't want to fall prey to it. And he did a good job of dodging around, because if he got hit by that, it would have been death for him for sure.
Look at
here
this,
comes Buckeyes.
It is 4 people down in the bot lane party. Everyone's invited. It is going to be first shuffles. He's going to find himself popping his hourglass. Tell me what time it is.
Wow, the turn.
Trying to turn this on around. Icelandic Hero is in a bad spot. Isn't going to be able to pick up the kill, and that's going to be shutdown goal going on over. Now Cleveland trying to see what he'll be able to do. Icy Beast, you're underneath a tower, and it is not your ally. He is going to go down, and that is going to be a kill for a kill, but they are getting some juicy tower plating down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, on the top side though, Zedong is able to pick up some for himself as well, making good use of the fact that Renekton died and knows he can't be up here soon. So in the end, it comes down to a trade, and the fact that Icy Beast died and the fact that Rumble will get more solo gold just makes it kind of an even trade at the end of it.
But you gotta think, Akali was in the mid lane getting plates while that was all happening as well. That was a 4v4 there for sure, but they did get a huge influx of gold. That was almost about 1.3k's worth, I believe, right there, just from them having that play go in their favor.
Yeah, here comes Mountain Drake number 2 as well. So, you know, if they get this second one, it means that Behavior Check will have no chance to match the extra power of objectives that the Mountain Drakes will give them. So definitely puts the Buckeyes on a better path towards the end game with this, making the Baron all that much easier. And it looks like they're pinging towards the Rift Herald, true Clutch Gaming fashion. Little 2 minutes late, but you know, they want to try and get this as quick as they can to try to finish off some tower, get the plate gold out of it, and push in towards the base even more.
Yep, they know that they're here though. Behavior Check know they're at Herald because Kai'Sa actually revealed herself in the minion wave. So that is something where they do know it's happening. They do know Herald's gone their way, and they were able to make it to where Renekton does not become a casualty of being too close to Shelly.
Yeah, they're just gonna pop it here mid right now.
Yeah, get the plates. Why not? It's delicious, man. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and they're trying to pick up as many plates as they can.
Yep, someone's just gotta be... Okay, people are close enough. That's something that happens is when the enemy team comes to defend, they all back up, and no one's actually close enough to receive the gold for the plates. So that feels bad, but here comes Pantheon.
Skyfall all by himself! He's gonna find himself getting shut on down. The teamfight's still going on in the backside. A is gonna be able to pick up a kill on his part. That is gonna be the 1-for-1, but they're looking to choose it on over Axel. He goes in with the Void Rush and picks up a kill over on the side on the Luigi. That is going to be a 1-for-2 trade there in favor of them. And man, what a catch out. Oh, and they're not done yet. This is what you perform. The flash to the side is not what you want. But Icy Beast is going to find himself getting taken out by the Icelandic Hero.
Yeah, the Battle of the Ice guy, Battle of the Ice type Pokemon. Look at that damage.
They're dominant on in. I enjoy losing. Not going to be able to get the kills that he wanted there. And a lot of flashes blown in that one fight.
Yeah, a lot of everything being blown. And it all started off with Riverdale getting separated and going down, and then Ohio Luigi went down, and you know, then Behavior Check pushed up a little too far to try and just really edge out this fight, try to get that mid tower, and paid for it. A great hook from Cleveland took out Icy Beast, and you know, now the game is dead even in terms of gold.
It really has turned into a game that could be anybody's game still here. And it's crazy to think that, but it has been the macro movements, I guess, that we're seeing from Behavior Check that have been really keeping them inside the game. They were but down in the early parts, and they found their way to kind of claw their way back in and make sure that the gold stays at an even part in this game. Could go either team's way still.
Yeah, and one thing to look at is now both of the bottom laners have wards available to them from their support items. So now is when Behavior Check can really start to put down really good vision to try and catch some people out here. So hopefully they recognize that and are able to get their wards down in good spots and try to claw back, because right now if you look at the map and the vision, it's all Buckeyes as far as aggressive vision goes.
And Buckeyes really have done a great job controlling the vision around the map and really just making sure they have that defensive line down pat for sure. Like if you go straight down the river, that's theirs.
Yeah, and all of Behavior Check's vision is in their own jungle, or they have one ward in the river and one ward close to the river. Other than that, it's all on their side.
Cleveland gonna step on up, gonna find themselves getting popped with a little bit of damage, but nothing too critical. They are looking to try and do something Rek'Sai's here in the area, and they did get vision, so they know Icelandic Hero is right there. They know you're there, buddy. They saw you.
Ooh, close on the hook.
Almost a crazy prediction. That's what we call those, predictions. And that is a tower plate. Not a tower plate, but got a little bit of damage onto it. A little bit more going their way. And it's just slow and steady right now for Buckeyes. They calmed the tempo down for themselves.
Yeah, they recognize Kai'Sa needs Ginsu's and just needs some more items to become that strong, the strong marksman in the backside, because there's so much random things that can just randomly hit her and take her out if she's not careful with their positioning. Because you look at all these champions.
Looking for damage, jumping onto Enjoy losing. That's a lot of damage being put on. The Killer Instinct has been used. Shuffles is going to be able to trade 1-for-1 there. TPs have been used across the way. Ohio Luigi not there just yet. Has to stay at the bot lane. Is going to keep on putting the pressure down here in the side lane. They're looking for possibly a little bit more ICBs over the wall. Could possibly look for a possible flank. Asso's going to be spotted out by the ward, and they're just having their time wasted now.
Yeah, and Ohio Luigi can keep pushing. Bad mid laner's on his way down there now, and Luigi's gonna back on up, but yeah, you know, these teams end up fighting, going 1-for-1 or getting a few picks, but they're not really able to convert into any objectives afterwards. And for Behavior Check, it's kind of just because they don't really have a marksman. You know, Swain's range, but he's not exactly a tower taker, you know? So them not having a marksman is hurting them as far as getting these objectives off these little skirmishes that are going on, because they're stronger in the fights, it seems, thus far. They're able to pick off Icelandic Hero, and you know, it takes Kai'Sa using the Killer Instinct to go in to finish people off thus far. So, you know, Behavior Check still doing just fine for themselves despite the kill lead in the Buckeyes' favor right now, but we'll have to see what ends up going on, because the potential for Gragas to engage a full-on team fight is a lot easier to execute than a Rek'Sai doing it.
Fun fact, by the way, the Swain with the support items has more gold than the 413 Kai'Sa that has double the CS.
Yeah, not by a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, that's just something I was looking at, and I was just like, this is,
I mean, that's why this strategy works, because the support items are able to pump out a lot of gold.
Now it's another Drake, third Drake of the game. Ocean Drake secured immediately. They're going to get a descent onto the Pantheon. I Enjoy losing, find themselves the center of attention here. The Killer Instinct's used to get into the middle of that fight. Shuffles is going to be able to pick up two, though. Equalizer coming over here onto the side.
Wow,
See the red carpet. Riverell is in a bad spot. He's left alone with the Akali. That's a double kill coming over for Bad Mid Laner in the backside. And it is only Riverell that is left to survive. He does not have flash. He's looking to...
Oh, there it is! Void Rush!
But here comes the Void Rush! And he's going to be able to get the shutdown and get the kill.
Oh, double!
A double kill! The American Sniper River Rail.
Yeah, and you see when the fight is actually happening, it's hard for Riverl to actually get in because every single champion on the side of Behavior Check is a threat to him. So it's hard for him to actually find a way into the fight without threatening his own life. But later on, once they start running at him one by one under towers, he's able to pick them off and get more kills, finding himself 7-1 all of a sudden. But still, the range factor is hard for him to actually team fight.
That was a nutty team fight. The Riverell able to kite himself out. He flashed away from Shuffles and bad mid laner. Found himself in a good spot. And this is a Kai'Sa that's 7-1-3 with a double Mountain Drake backing it up. And look at the amount of gold. Sitting on 3,800 gold right now. That's going to be a scary Kai'Sa when it backs.
Yeah, should be able to pick up the Ginsu's Rage Blade. And, you know, we'll have to see what she decides to do afterwards. Generally after this, you know, you can see him go for a more AP style build, or, you know, might decide, you know what, we need more AD damage and go, but looks like going for the Nashor's Tooth and the AP style build.
Looks like that will be the choice there for them. And this tower is not very long for this world. ICB's trying to hold on for dear life. That is
Kind of went out and decided, there's 3 people there, I'm going back.
I just love the fact, you know, Icelandic hero shows them the belly. They ain't having none of that here today. Now there's some posturing around this Baron pit from both teams, looking to go for the catch here. Icelandic hero.
Oh,
he said, no, you're the one that's caught here. Void Rush is going to come out now. That is going to be the Zombies that's going to be used by the Dragon. So he's going to go down to ICBs now on the backside of the fight. The Equalizer is going to be used to try
that
to
gun
That's going to be a huge ultimate coming out from Kriana, but a double kill is still going to be the name of the game. ICB looking to be on fire here.
And once again, Riverl does not have a way into this team fight. He's full health. I think the only mana he used was to E away from someone, use the supercharge. He has no way into these team fights, and so Behavior Check can just run amok, because if they get the correct positioning on the fight, there's no way for the Kai'Sa to join. And everyone else on the team, unless there's a perfect equalizer perfectly overlapped with the Supreme Display of Talent, they don't do enough damage to actually win fights.
That's the terrifying thing there is this team, you pick up this team comp, and I remember we were looking at it, we're like, yeah, the damage in this composition is pretty nutty. They don't have anybody that can really just stand in front of Riverell and say, you're safe now.
Yeah, I mean, Thresh could try, but there's a Swain, there's an Akali, there's a Pantheon support with a Youmuu's Ghostblade. You know, Riverl is going to have a very hard time in these fights unless the rest of the Buckeyes can find a way to split the fight up, which Gragas is attempting to do, but it just hasn't been working in the past, I don't know, 10 or so minutes. That he hasn't been able to have the same impact that he did in the early game.
I mean, Luigi got a huge ultimate there. We had to kind of think, what do the Buckeyes really want to go for at this point in time? Because they were kind of posturing to continue to have control over this Baron pit. Now seems like they've lost control over it right now, and they're just trying to position around. They got Rumble down here in the bot lane. Is this the right call for them?
Well, he has teleport, so yeah, generally when you have teleport on your top laner, you want them elsewhere to just push a wave in and try to draw the pressure, but ICB also has teleport, so you know, the main thing that the Buckeyes have done these past few fights is not use the Supreme Display of Talent and the Equalizer together. One goes down and then the other goes down in a different location. And when that happens, one of those ultimates does not get its full value, probably the Equalizer, because it's relatively easy nowadays with the way movement speed has evolved in the game to just walk off the Equalizer without, you know, dying like you used to back in the day. But they really need to layer those two ultimates together and find Riverl a way into these fights, or at least blow the fight up with a cask to where Riverl can kill someone, and then it's a 4v5 and it becomes a little bit easier.
Yeah, Atzel looking for something. They're getting the catch onto Icelandic hero. That is almost half of HP gone right there. Now bad mid laner trying to jump onto him. That's going to be equalized. That's going to be used. Perfect execution, just near perfect at that point, as A is going to, oh no!
There you go, good catch out.
That is going to be huge. Luigi being able to pick up bad mid laner here at D. Now they're looking for the play. They're going for the dragon. That's the Inferno going on over to the Buckeyes. Huge ultimate display of talent coming on out. But you're in the pit with Shuffles. He's looking to just drain it all out. Lots of damage being put on in there. He's going to be able to pop out one. Icy Beast looking to see if he can get to anybody else. But that's going to be a beautifully used Killer Instinct, and that is going to be a triple kill going to Riverwell.
And just like that, Riverwell's actually able to participate in a team fight, and it's an ace for the Buckeyes, only losing Gragas and Kiana. Now they have their eyes set on the Baron with the 2 Mountain Drakes. This should be free for them.
I gotta say, I really love the decision making that was done by this Kaisa here. Because if we had instant replays, man, I would want to see an instant replay of the second that the Renekton jumps over the wall, she's just like, nope.
Yeah, she saved the Killer Instinct
away.
Yep, Killer Instinct away from the Renekton. The only champion that still was a threat to actually kill her. Just fantastic play from Riverwell when the team allows him space. It's like a quarterback in football. You know, you got to make the pocket for the quarterback to make the best throw that he can. And it wasn't happening until that fight. You know, Riverwell was able to find a few picks here and there after the end of fights, Killer Instincting towards the edge of the fight to pick someone off and run away. But, you know, that's all the Buckeyes have. I say that's all they have to do. It's been hard for them so far, but they need to find fights to where he can have an impact, because when he does, those are the results that happen. They get aces when Riverwell's able to actually auto attack people.
You were talking about a quarterback. I thought he was more like a halfback, man. He was plowing. He was going through the line, dodging all this stuff. He's like, oh, well, no, not going to get me today. It was just beautiful to watch. Now we're seeing that the Baron buff is over here on the side of the Buckeyes. They need to see what they're going to be able to do with this. How will they be able to utilize this? They got double Mountain, Ocean, and an Infernal. This should be their play. So it's going to find himself getting decimated instantly. Shuffles is trying to find his way into the fight. They're stuck inside the box. That's going to be Cleveland. That's going to be able to go on down. Mad mid laner is going to be able to pick up another kill onto the backside here as they're looking to try and get their hands. Beautiful use of the Killer Instinct yet again. What can this guy not do? It looks like it's not die is on his list today. He's trying to kite it on back, try and see whatever damage he'll be able to
Look
put.
at the damage he does, though.
Going on down. He's going to flash on forward. He's going to be able to pick up another kill. He is legendary. He is godlike, and you shall remember his name.
The whole time that was going on, Rumble's just down in the bottom lane pushing. We'll be on the inhibitor afterward, but that play from Riverwell was amazing. You know, Icelandic Hero recognized that he needed to be in between Riverwell and the rest of the team. But here comes Rek'Sai, has Void Rush!
He has the Void Rush, he still got the kill! He still got it. That is an ace that goes on over. Here we see a top laner in his natural habitat. You know, he's just like, yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Good hustle. Good hustle. But man, oh man, Riverwell is just playing out of his mind. This is what Ultra Instinct looks like when you're playing AD carry. He's just constantly aware of all of his surroundings.
Yeah, and now he has the Rabadon's death cap, so everything, the Prey Seeker, the Void Seeker, gosh, Rek'Sai and Kaisa have very similar ability names when you think about it, but the W's coming out from Riverwell are gonna hurt now. Whenever he procs his passive, it's going to do so much more damage with the Rabadon's death cap completed. And you know, a lot of people forget that Ginsu's has Magic Pen and Armor Pen built into it. So, you know, even though Renekton has a Hex Drinker and Rek'Sai has Mom Malmortius, Riverwell is still going to destroy them as long as he's able to continue autoing and continue living.
Yeah, continue living. Good strategy, I have to say, there for this guy.
And that's what Behavior Check has to do, is take down Riverwell. Because if they don't, they're not going to win. That's literally, it's a protect the president comp right now.
Mr. President, get down! If your president was a freaking ninja, like if he competed in Ninja Warrior, I'd agree 110%. This guy's got the moves, man. He isn't no 40-year-old retired vet or anything like that. He's just out here. He's got moves. He's in his 20s. He's in the youth of his life. He's just having a good old time here as Cleveland spamming a little bit of BM there. With raising up the white flag. Here we go. The Skyball coming on in. Skyfall, Skyby. He's going to go on down, and now it's going to be the Killer Instinct to secure the kill. Double kill coming on out. Descent is going to be used on the Shuffle. He's going to try and survive in this fight. The most that he possibly can. Heal it on up. That's not going to be enough when you're faced with all that damage. And it is going to be 2 members of Bad Behavior left to run back to their Nexus, as the Nexus is going to be laid siege to, and this should be game 1 going over to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, they figured out what it was they needed to do. They played the early game. You know, Icelandic Hero made it work for him. Then after the early game, Behavior Check came back. Their comps started taking over. All the damage just balled up together, and there wasn't a whole lot the Buckeyes could do without Riverol actually being in the fight. But once they found a way to get him involved in these fights, that was the game from that point on.
So I can't help but, did you say the name of that snowball there? Because I couldn't help but hear, because I'm pretty sure that snowball has a name. And it's just Kaisa, man. It's just that thing was disgusting. At one point in time, I remember we said something about the gold being even between the two, even though I had the kill advantage. Died in one fight, and then it was just a game of like, can't touch me. It was just River doing fantastic work here, and man, he set the bar high for any player to outperform him in the next game that we got coming up here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we got a game 2 coming up, and regardless of how the game ended there, I still think that was actually a pretty close game that just blew open in the mid game.
Yeah, it was very even until Riverol took over later on. But up to that point, it was very even, and it showed the style that both these teams were trying to play with these comps. They both played their comps well until it just got to the point where Riverol could take over.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take ourselves a short little break to prepare our bodies for our game 2 in the UCL. Be sure not to touch your browser. We'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on back to UCL over here at Upsurge. We just got done off of a thrilling game one. My name's Travesty. I'm joined here by Gus, and we're already getting in the pick and ban.
Yeah, and after that game, I'll be surprised if we don't see either Kaisa banned, because Ohio State's on blue side now and can just first pick it if they really, really want to. Because it's Riveral's most played ADC, had a very fantastic game on it, but so far things look pretty similar.
Yep, the only thing they haven't banned yet is the Fiora, so we'll have to see if they end up banning away the Kaisa instead of the Fiora here, as we were talking about it in the last ban phase. Just picking away stuff, but they think the Thresh was the problem.
I mean, he did catch out the Pantheon support with a few hooks in the mid game, but you know, they're giving Riveral the Kaisa once again, so we'll see if they have a better game plan to play against it this time. Actually, their game plan wasn't bad last game. It just ended up kind of not happening.
Well, it's like their mid game, we talked about it, got exploded upon. Swain still showing that priority on Swain Pantheon here. This could be a fake out now. Swain Pantheon, it's in our minds as bot lane, but could be a fake out.
Swain can go solo lane, Pantheon can solo lane, Pantheon can jungle. There's a lot of stuff that can happen with those two champions, so we'll see if it's just a big old deke or if they're just running it back.
Well, the Morgana would be a very interesting answer, and it is the one that we are going to see here. So it's going to be relying on that spell shield to make sure that they're going to be good to go. We'll see what the next pick will be, and Sejuani wasn't banned. Here it is.
Yeah, I'm interested that there's so much priority on it because Sejuani's been nerfed here and there, you know, and kind of falling out of favor a little bit, but, you know, ultimate is still very, very valuable, so... just using it as the engage, not a bad pick at all.
Yeah, gives you a lot. Olaf being picked up, so we're saying we're running at you, and predominantly you see Olaf in the jungle, right? It's not every day you see somebody who's like, I'm playing Olaf top lane.
It could happen. You know,
it can.
That's always still a possibility, but yeah, you think you just kind of bet that it's Olaf jungle, but Rumble being taken away. You know, Ayla Mao Zedong, you know, they didn't coordinate as perfectly as they could between the Qiyana and the Rumble, but still the threat of the Rumble. And he did do very well in the lane against IC Beast on the Nectin. So, just probably a good thing to recognize, hey, they're going to go for team fights. We should take away those as they take away the Qiyana part as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like that call because there was actually a lot of big ultimates that came out in that fight with the Qiyana. But
I like that Irelia ban because both top laners play a lot of Irelia.
It makes perfect sense here, and the composition they have, they don't want that extra flexibility even more so, as we are going to be seeing what will be the next pick to come out here from Behavior Check. What are you betting on?
Honestly, I don't know what to bet on because there still could be Swain top and mid, but Victor being locked in, he could be mid or top as well, or even bottom lane.
Yeah,
you know, we've seen Griffin still play Victor bottom here and there. You never know.
And going for a different kind of meta. This meta is theirs. They're grabbing it by the reins and trying to steer it into Buckeyes and knock them on over to the side. They've got their last couple of picks, top and mid, yet to have been locked in here, and already being locked in. I believe this is a comfort pick over here for Luigi.
Yeah, Ahri not necessarily considered meta by pro play standards, but in solo queue and this kind of environment, very strong, very safe mid laner, has wave clear, has a lot of pick potential, can team fight very effectively as well. So just overall, just a very solid mid lane pick. And then Gangplank coming in, the heavy guns coming into the top lane here for Ohio State.
He's got that orange. He squeezed all the juice dry. He said, "This is gonna be you in about 20 minutes." Yarn. Is what he's going to be looking to do here. And over in the top lane, we were talking about it. He had a pretty good laning phase. It's going to take an aggressive pick, is what you normally want to do when you see a Gangplank. You want to just destroy him and take out the scaling part of a Gangplank. And Camille could be that answer.
Ooh. Yeah, Camille definitely could be that answer. This Camille's a bit like Renekton, just spikes a little bit later on. Really wants the Trinity Force before going in and, you know, being that unstoppable side lane monster, just kind of like a Jax or a Fiora. But Camille also brings a lot of engage potential and pick potential. Coming in with the hook shot and the Hextech Ultimatum, locking up someone, just makes it real easy for the rest of Behavior Check to come on in and pile on in and have a good old time. So it's kind of a run back, sort of. Same kind of style of comps from both teams anyway.
Let me throw a wrench in your plans. Camille support Pantheon. I mean, if you want something really strong early against the Gangplank, Pantheon is one of those champions that can do it. You know, especially if he doesn't have to spend gold on the support item early on, he can spend that on longswords, and longswords equals damage. Pantheon already does a lot of damage, as we saw last game with the support item, so with longswords he'll do even more damage. But, you know, just gonna be Camille top from the looks of it. Yeah, I 100% expect it for Camille. I think that's one that speaks to the fact of how crazy this composition yet again has become, where it's just like anybody can go anywhere still. Don't you wait. Don't you dare assume our lane assignments. Yeah. As they are going to be going into this next bit here, and I feel like Buckeyes have got to be feeling good. They know that the Kai'Sa was very stable, and one of the big complaints that UME had in that game was Camille really didn't have that level of protection. Has a lot more protection with this team composition.
Yeah, even something as simple as Gangplank throwing down his ultimate can create space for Riverl this time, can slow down that death ball of the Behavior Check team comp, because they all need to run up and be in range, and the Gangplank ult slowing them down allows the Ahri and the Morgana to land charms and bindings, allows Sejuani to be in front, and having a Sejuani as a front line instead of a Gragas is definitely a lot better. If you're Riverl, you're sitting there going, yes, give me that front line, give me that beef in front of me. So, you know, I think Ohio State's team comp is a bit better than it was last game for fighting this sort of team comp coming out of Behavior Check.
I 100% agree. I think there's no question in mind in regards to that, and these comps are just still so spicy. I almost said, I looked over at the Buckeyes and I was just like, oh man, they're running, their colors all synced up. Gameplay kind of soils it a little bit there.
Just a little bit. I will say though that Behavior Check's comp does scale a bit better than their last game's one did, because Victor scales pretty well. Camille will become a side lane monster once she gets her items. So they do have alternate win conditions other than group up and fight. Whereas before, once Renekton fell behind, it really became hard for ICBs to have much of an impact on the game. But as Camille, just him going in and Hextech ultimatuming Riverl, just there you go. Even with Black Shield, he can't get out of it. So
I will say
it's a little bit easier to pile up on Riverl this time.
I will say one thing definitely in this game is Axel does not need to get 4 buffed. That was
also doesn't
that
need to die through Raptors again.
Yeah, 4 buffed and die the Raptors feels bad. But you know what doesn't feel bad, Gus?
What doesn't feel bad, Travis?
Let me tell you about the feel of a mechanical keyboard that just graces you from the Elo gods themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Kono. I'm talking about the one-stop shop for all your mechanical keyboard needs. They serve only the finest of keyboards out there, and you can see all sorts of different designs, even if you just need to do something as simple as replace your caps. You know, you need your keys, they're getting a little worn down. That happens. Your QWER, you can't see the QWE or R anymore. It has become a thing there, so you need to go ahead and get the replacement. Be sure to visit Kono.store. That's right. That's Kono, Kono .store. That's going to be able to get you the hottest products to be able to grace you by the Elo gods themselves, and make sure you'll be able to be a contending one day yourself. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break. That way you guys have a chance, just a moment, to be able to sniff out some of the wares over at Kono.store. We'll be right back after you pick up your new keyboard. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the UCL. We're in game 2 here. The Buckeyes are leading, and it is going to be a very impactful game here. I'm Travis. I'm joined here by Gus, and we are seeing a yet again another 5 spread, but another stat coming out from Buckeyes.
Yeah, this time they don't have Thresh, but they have Morgana, which is almost as good as a Thresh as far as level 1 is concerned. We'll see if Shuffles falls victim to it again or not. Twice.
Well, things to take note of. Shuffles is staying a little bit closer to his.
He's got PTSD.
Yeah, he's like, I remember what happened last game.
And you look, even bad mid laner's kind of far back into his own jungle. He's just kind of going, I don't know.
I don't want these guys to get me again, no. But we gotta kind of run through some of the keystone choices here. The most interesting ones that I can see is on this Ahri and on the Pantheon for sure, because the Pantheon switched up his masteries for this matchup.
Yeah, last game he went after Shock, and now he's got Hail of Blades, which is really interesting because the empowered Pantheon W already gives you 3 max speed attacks. So that kind of would, in theory, eat up the Hail of Blades. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe he's looking for Hail of Blades and then into the empowered W just for 6 quick autos.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just
it'll be
nuts
interesting
with
to
autos.
see what ends up happening there. And then Glacial Ahri is more of a utility sort of thing, as up in top lane, these guys going for some...
Yeah, he's throwing down barrels and whatnot, but here comes the damage. Cleveland gonna have the heal forced on out there. And we saw this last game, the early game aggression coming out from this bot lane. They are looking to just press whatever advantage they can find.
Yeah, and we saw it come out and help them out last game as well. But, you know, Morgana, a little more on the defensive side of things than the Thresh was. Definitely makes it to where Riveral's a little safer walking up towards the Pantheon. The Black Shield making him unable to be stunned. And you see already the level 2 coming out, forcing them to back on up.
Yeah, go ahead and force the pressure to back them on up. And now it is becoming a little bit of a very, very much so quieter game coming out from the jungle here. Last game we saw the junglers like butting heads against each other and just like, do you bleed? And it was just a nuts of time. Icelandic hero, not on the early playmaker that a Gragas would be considered. But
Yeah, he's gonna be spotted on that ward that was left in the tri-brush, probably not looking to dive this early, just going for his scuttle, but will have vision, will alert the side of behavior check that Sejuani is down in the bottom side. Sedge will place down a ward as well that will let the Buckeyes know that, hey, Olaf started down here, his camps are gone, so watch out for him topside.
Oh, and good charm to land onto bad mid laner, laying out a good bit of damage here. The pushing power coming out from this Morgana has came to serve them fairly well, making sure that they can push in this bot lane. And so far, everything's been pretty stable so far. Nothing really too crazy has happened, but Sejuani's been sticking around here towards the bot side. They're looking for some action still. Icelandic hero, he's getting a little jittery. He hasn't had blood spilled in the past 4 minutes almost.
Yeah, having withdrawals right now. He walked right on up, saw that, and was like, oh, hello, but look at that, no Black Shield to be seen.
Yeah, it came out a little bit too little, too late. Ignite in the first blood goes on over to Shuffles, and Shuffles gonna be feeling good picking that up.
Yeah, and when you're against a lane like the Pantheon Swain, you gotta be quick with your E key. You need one of them Kono keyboards with those good switches, otherwise you're just gonna be late.
I approve of this 110%. Now bad mid laner, he's gonna find himself in a situation that's gonna come on out. The Ignite is not gonna be taken away. Ohio Luigi flashing on out of there. Doesn't want to find himself getting popped by an auto, and is gonna barely be able to survive. Is gonna need the back here. I don't think you want to stick around with that amount of HP.
That was like single-digit HP. I kind of thought that a minion auto was gonna follow him, but Icy Beast is looking for. Oh, that charm though!
Oh, that charm was clutch. That's a lot of damage. The flash isn't going to be enough to connect there. Icy
oh no!
Outran, and That is just unfortunate. Flash blown by Icy as he made the huge roam all the way down to the mid lane. He's gonna have his recall stopped here, but Icelandic doesn't know. Axel's here. You don't want to mess with this. You're getting caught by these axes, and there'll be a world of pain. They are stopping their backs of Icy Beast, and he's just losing so much more for this.
Yeah, I mean, he's already down 8 CS to the Camille in the top side, and leaving a Gangplank alone in the top lane to free farm, and never something you want to do. You know, maybe if he was able to pick up that kill onto Ohio Luigi, things would be better off for him, but now he's going to have to teleport back in, and Lamau Zedong just having a good old time up there in the top lane.
He's just like, this is great. I enjoy this. This is exactly what I signed up for. It's a nice little island in the top lane. I invite you to stop by anytime you want to. Has his own little resort going there. Olaf is coming to visit him over here. Axel looking to get some aggression in on this. The Chaos Storm being popped onto Luigi, just forcing him on out of the lane yet again. Really utilizing this pushing power from Victor.
Yeah, and he's amassed a 20 CS lead for himself as well in the mid lane, so...
Yeah, we're going for it and all this other stuff, so we're jumping on in, still having some damage being put on to everybody here, as we are going on in. At the moment, Ohio Luigi trying to just clear up the wave, and...
Whoa, that
flash! What flash! Luigi,
Scary!
He gets caught. Bad mid laner, your name is a lie! Yeah, now we are going to see A. Lamau. You can't take an orange. It's not K. You're stuck in the hexagon. Axel going to dunk on into him with the true damage. Icelandic hero not going to be there in time to be able to get anything. Did burn his flash and is going to find himself not getting anything. No rewards for him today. ICB is getting jumped onto here. Is Axel is still here in the area. They could look for something, but they are all very low HP. ICB's needs to run on away, and so does Axel.
Yeah, we're 7 minutes, 20 seconds into the game. Icelandic hero does not have his ultimate yet. Axel got the level 6 ticked as he went in for that dive and did have access to the Ragnarok, but, you know, the early game has been swapped. All of a sudden, Axel is popping off here as a jungler in the early game, and, you know, Behavior Checks got themselves a lead going on so far in this game, up 2,000 or so gold. But all eyes are on Riverwolf after what happened last game. And, you know, it's a similar team comp, so you got to imagine that the plays are going to be the same. The game plan is going to be the same as it was last game. Just buy Riverwolf space to auto.
Yeah, Riverwolf is not having the same start that he had in the last game, though. He had a couple kills going into the 10-minute mark, sitting in his bat belt, and there really hasn't been the action that would be favoring them over here on the bot side. You're going to see they're going to be able to spot out this huge invade over here, and that's going to be very big for them because they know, hey, there is a party down here in the bot lane. Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah. It's just like last game. We had the teleports and all the crazy stuff go down in the bottom lane because there's just so much potential. Just like that. The Black Shield was just a millisecond late and Riverwolf got rooted anyway.
Getting the damage that they need, getting the roots on there, and trying to see what they'll be able to catch out. And big thing to take note of too is the fact that the gold is, even with the kills, is even at this point in time, but we saw how the gold escalated as the game went on once Swain got his support item rolling. So we gotta keep eyes on the gold here and see if he'll be able to amass himself with an insane gold, just get the gold spike that he was looking for in the last bit. Oh, there's the charm yet again. Luigi.
He kind of baits himself in with those charms. Instant cleanse coming down and the retaliation.
That was a good Black Shield there. I enjoy losing, taking some damage. He's going to be able to back him on off, but that was a beautiful Black Shield coming out from Cleveland. Oh,
yeah, there's Soul Shackles.
There's the Soul Shackles, but that's going to be the bait. Actually, the Ignite going on to Riverwolf. Shuffles is going to be able to pick himself up another kill, as Axel was there in the wings, not being able to pick up the assist. They could look from some tower platings here.
Yeah, and that's the buff to Swain where, you know, you can just kind of pop your ult once you do a certain amount of damage instead of, you know, having that weird stuff before. And having the Q able to go through minions just means Swain is a very potent bot laner. Just going on in and popping the Kai'Sa. The Ignite got blown and everything, and Riverl went down. You know, last game he went from straight having a pickaxe straight to the Manamune. Now he actually has to sit on the tier. So things going very well for Behavior Check thus far in the game. You know, the only downside they have right now is that Camille's down a bit of CS to Gangplank.
Yeah, but here we go in the mid lane. It's gonna be bad mid laner. Oh, he's got the fancy feet, but it's not enough to dodge everything.
Oh, there's Pantheon!
Pantheon's here, but I don't think that's a party he wants to jump on into. I just want to count right now. That was four people that had to jump into that, because Gangplank even dropped down the cannon fire from cross map. You had a Morgana that threw the binding. You had Ohio Luigi trying to lay out the pressure, and Icelandic Hero threw out the Glacial Prison. That was 4 members of OSG that was trying to put out
good Black Shield.
Oh, good snare coming on in. I enjoy losing, taking a healthy amount of damage as he gets popped on it. But welcome back to lane, Pantheon. Remember us?
Yeah, that was fantastic game timing from Icelandic Hero. You know, Luigi had to have told him, hey, he burned his cleanse the last time I charmed him, so he won't have it if you want to come up and throw your ultimate at him. And even though the ultimate didn't land, it forced him to walk back into him, which let them pick up the kill. And now...
A is going to find himself going on down. That is a kill going over to Ansel as he picks up A. And Gangplank not having a great time versus this Camille Olaf duo.
Yeah, and you know, Gangplank may scale very well, but Camille later on is no slouch either, having 800 damage or 800 true damage on the second Q later on once the Trinity Force is done. It's nothing to scoff at, really.
Nah, not at all. Assel's finding himself getting jumped onto. That's the smite. They're gonna turn this on around to Icelandic.
Oh, that stopwatch!
Going to be the stopwatch, as there's gonna be a lot of damage turned on around, and bad mid laner picks himself up a kill here as they're going to use the Chaos Storm. No Charm going to be connecting. Nothing's going to be able to hit bad mid laner here, but is going to find the Glacial Augment, slowing him on down, and Luigi going to dash on out of there.
I love how bad mid laner just doesn't care about the Chaos Storm and just throws it down. Just like Ahri's there, boom, Chaos Storm. What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I think you know about it, Ahri. Terrifying for the fact that you can't kill her. It's a tilter whenever you drop her down to low HP, because you know she's just gonna dash away. So why not just drop her to low HP and just make her dash away and not really have to worry about anything? Just shove her out of lane. Who needs her here?
Yeah, and once the E's evolved, you can pretty much shove lanes for free. So, you know, making Ahri not be in lane is one way to actually be able to shove her in, because you know, her Spirit Orb does a pretty good job of clearing waves on its own, but he's able to shove in and roam just so often this game. So bad mid laner having a very good time in this game so far. Not the 50 CS lead it once was, but still a healthy 30 CS lead for him.
Oh, it's going to be the Pantheon getting caught by snare. Nothing else to come out there. Just saying, hey, I know you're in my jungle. As they are playing the game, dancing around the red buff here. Atzel wants it. He remembers getting 4 buff last game. He's looking for vengeance. Icelandic Hero is going to find himself going on down. Luigi's over here on the side, but they're all stuck inside of the pit. They're going to try and dunk onto Luigi. Lots of damage being put on. They're going to be able to get the root, and they're going to be able to pick up that kill.
Soul Shackles was used.
Trying to use the Soul Shackles, but not going to be able to attach anybody down to the ground. Cleveland's going to find a lot of damage being thrown his way. It's going to be them backing on off, as Buckeyes are going to be in a tricky spot. But now Herald, Shelly summoned into the mid lane. Clayton has fallen, so they're going to be looking to just try and secure the first tower.
Yeah, it was the classic, I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me, because they all had flash. If they really needed to, they could have flashed out of the red buff pit, decided just to wait for cooldowns, and ended up picking up another kill. And making good use of their team comp so far is Behavior Check. And you know, they have amassed themselves almost a 5,000 gold lead at this point in the game, so they're sitting pretty right now. They need to keep their foot on the accelerator and keep pushing their advantage, because you know, if this ends up going super late game, then you're staring at a full item Kai'Sa and a full item Gangplank, and you know, you don't really want to put yourself in that position.
And He is getting a lot of damage onto Icy Beast. He's going to be able to hook shot on out of there.
You talk about Ari just dashing away.
Yeah.
How about Camille being able to do that every 12 seconds or so at this point?
Just drifts on away, man. It's such a long range on the hook shot that it's just you're Spider-Man at that point in time.
Actually, she already has 4 points in it, so it's only 11.5-second cooldown right now. So,
It just only,
but still,
just only. Doesn't have any cooldown yet. It's
a bit less than the Ari Spirit Charm, but you know, still a good escape.
Now they are going to go ahead and jump onto this Mountain Drake here, and Behavior Check.
Oh, it's all ports.
TP. They've got 2 DPs
Camille's
going
behind him.
Camille's going to be hitting him from the backside. That's going to be Shuffles absolutely decimating the HP bar as the rest of the team joins the fight. The Hexagon is used, and that's going to be a double kill coming on out. Cleveland's next on the list.
Oh, Riverroll.
Picking that up. Riverroll using the kill instinct to try and give himself a shield, but you can't shield yourself away from the pain that is that auto attack.
Yeah, and just like that, 4 down for the Ohio State. Only Ohio Luigi on the Glacial Ari trying to wave clear. It's not going to work out too well for him. With just the Hextech GLP, doesn't do enough to clear out the minions. They'll get the Mountain Drake, they'll get the kills, they'll get the tower bottom lane, and everything is going right for Behavior Check in game 2.
Behavior Check, this is a completely different beast. They found themselves looking a lot more tame in game 1. They have taken the shackles off, and they are just here unleashed and really just brutalizing side of the Buckeyes in this game, really taking advantage, saying, hey, we had a great idea last game. Let's just modify it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it also comes down to Icelandic Hero. On the Sejuani, you know, she's just been changed so much to just be reliant on the ults. Can do stuff early game, but nothing compared to what a champion like Gragas is able to accomplish early on. And, you know, while the ultimate did end up getting 1 kill for the Gangplank, you know, in the mid lane when bad mid laner got caught out, that's about
4 people.
That's about all that Icelandic Hero has been able to accomplish this game. Whereas last game, he was everywhere pre-15 minutes. He was Ohio State's entire game early on last game. This game, he hasn't been able to do anything for the most part, and it's showing.
Yeah, he's not getting the early aggression, and Olaf, terrifying champion right now, 3-0-6. This is optimal run at you time when you're playing this champion, as he can really just jump onto anybody with Conqueror and really just go to town, well it on out on top of him. And Shuffles as well is in a dangerous spot where he is just scaling into monster status.
Yeah, not only that, but they did get the Air Drake as their first Drake, so even more run at you power with the movement speed on that. And, you know, they don't have a traditional 80 carry, so the Mountain Drake on their side this time will help them push down these objectives quicker as well.
I also gotta say, really good game sense there, if you noticed, from this Morgana saying, they're around here. They are still around here. Let's back on up. And they say, we'll give up the tower and not our lives.
Yep, I mean, Shuffles is looking like he's going to try to give up some of his HP bar to get the tower. Oh, Gangplank! A little bit of miscommunication there, looks like, from Behavior Check. Pantheon could have been the one taking the tower with his E ability, being able to tank that up. Instead, give him Alamau Zedong a kill with the Cannon Barrage.
That was the most Alamau kill I've ever seen. Oh no!
Hopefully that's a little bit of a wake-up call for Behavior Check going, hey, they still have champions that can come back later on. We need to not troll around a little bit here.
Yeah, I agree with you. A couple mistakes were made. Just unlucky is, I guess, what we're going to go for here. Items have been picked up from Behavior Check, so they're going to be looking to be in a good spot, but they need to read the map, read the room. ICPs could be in a bad spot here underneath this tower. There are 4 people down here looking to party.
Yeah, definitely if the tower wasn't there, they would have went in. Probably ICPs wouldn't have been so far up if his tower wasn't there, one could argue, but yeah, you just got to make sure to keep your keep your head on a swivel, because Sejuani can still catch anyone out except for bad mid laner because he has cleanse up right now. But everyone else can still feel the wrath of the Glacial Prison.
Yeah, everybody still can, and
Or I guess Olaf has Ragnarok too. You know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're safe with that, but yeah, I get what you're saying, man. That Glacial Prison, the Icelandic hero is going to look to throw away the key when he locks you up, and that is going to be all she wrote. If she's able to get a good catch, Icelandic hero going to be looking for that moment to really be able to shackle somebody on down and make everybody just feel a little bit of suffering with that huge ability. And it is a champion. Sejuani is a champion that does pretty all right even when behind, just because of that fact.
Yeah. But for Ohio State,
oh wait, Skyfall's coming in bot lane. Oh, Ohio Luigi, he's using all of his abilities to try and escape. He's trying to dash on the way.
And the flash.
Olaf has the flash. Fancy footwork coming in there. It is thankful that he has 3 dashes at this point in time, because he was in a very, very tricky situation.
Yeah, if he had any less than the 3 dashes in the flash, he was dead. Needed every single unit of movement he could have gotten there to get out. He almost got hit by that Pantheon Spear too. Might not have killed him because it went through the whole minion wave, and it does decrease damage the more things it hits when it's charged up like that. But still, very scary stuff. Ohio Luigi's very lucky to get out with his life.
Icelandic hero just barely dodged it, and it's going to be the Hexagon coming on in. That's the artillery in the backside, and you just went a little too deep. Now the fight is looking to be on the side of the Buckeyes. They're got a lot of damage just getting turned on around back to him. Icelandic hero, he's looking to tank it on up. The shackles have been locked on in. That's going to be a double kill. That's going to be going over to Riverell. Shuffles is trying to get in range, but he's just zoned out. And that was a huge overextension coming out from Behavior Check.
Yeah, trying to catch out the Sejuani. You know, someone who's tankier, you're not going to be able to instantly pop. Using the Hextech Ultimatum even, and getting just completely stuffed by the rest of Ohio State being there. So, you know, they have to make sure they're communicating. You know, ICB has to make sure that someone can follow him up when he goes in, because, you know, he's just a Camille with pieces of Trinity Force and a Tiamat. He's not exactly the 3,000 health full build Camille yet. You know, he's going to get popped, especially when Ari's there to land a charm and Morgana's there to bind everyone up, and they just got to make sure that all their ducks are in a row before they go in, because the Ohio State team comp does have teeth to it.
Yeah, and those teeth get sharper as the game goes on. Evolution, baby. It's a mystery, but it is definitely something that they're going to find the answer to if they keep letting the game go on and keep making mistakes like that, because Gangplank and Kai'Sa are terrifying, especially when you think about the fact that there's a Black Shield that can just back one of these huge carries up inside these fights. Now it is the Baron start coming up here. This is very interesting. There is no TP on Gangplank.
Yeah, they need to try and do something here to push their advantage, because they still have a 5,000 plus gold lead at this point. And, you know, like you said, there's a line in the sand when it comes to Ohio State's team comp. There will be a point where Kai'Sa and Gangplank become too much for them to handle, and it's going to resort to side lanes. It's going to resort to ICB's side laning, pushing with his Trinity Force on the Camille. And that's where he gets into scary territory because of all the random CC and engage that Ohio State has. The game could end in an instant at that point once Kai'Sa has items and Gangplank has items.
It's a terrifying moment. We're seeing these carries just starting to get going on their itemization right now. Camille's over in the side lane and looking to possibly join the team here. It is going to be a charm that's going to be able to, they're going to be able to catch out.
Oh no!
Get out of the hexagon! You're stuck in here. That is going to be Shuffles now, forcing them out of the top side of the jungle, and you give them a little bit of praise for catching people out, and they're the ones that get caught out themselves here, making a mistake like that. Now the cannon fire coming on out, calling artillery from above, just trying to dissuade them from the Baron, but that is going to be death instead, as that is going to be another kill. Cleveland going down now, and this is definitely the trigger for them to start the Baron up.
Yeah, and that is why fight for vision around the Baron pits. That way when you go there, it forces things out, like the Gangplank, like Morgana having to face check.
Oh,
Just
Hatzel,
like that, they
very
bought
low.
themselves a Baron.
Yeah, they got the Baron. Hetzel was very low there, and that could have been a scary moment in time, but they knew if they went in, that would just be their death. So they're going to give up the Baron buff, and they're going to probably hope the turtle here, I would assume.
Yeah, they're gonna have to because you know they have a run at UComp. They have the Air Drake. They have the Mountain Drake. Where if they ever get onto an objective and are able to hit it, it will go down pretty quickly. You know, they have tools to stall. They have Ahri and Gangplank wave clear. They have some tools to try and turtle. But if people like Ohio Luigi get caught out like that, it makes things a lot harder. And Camille is a very fantastic champion for that because the Hextech Ultimatum, you saw Ahri couldn't dash out. She tried and it literally pulled her back in because she went too far.
Yeah, that was a very awkward scenario where it's just like, well, I'm stuck here. Now it's the bot lane that is going to be the priority here. You see that Buckeyes are looking to try and set up some form of a defense here, just to try and salvage whatever time they can. It's not so much about saving the tower from dying as much as it is just saving it from dying too quickly at this point.
Yeah. And we do see Kai'Sa has the Ginsu's Rage Blade completed, has another dagger likely for that Nashor's Tooth as well. And against this kind of team comp, I think both Ohio Luigi and Riverol should potentially try to pick up Zhonya's Hourglasses because if Camille catches you out, you can Zhonya's and try to wait out the Hextech Ultimatum duration so that way your team can come back you up.
I mean, Icy Beast has had a little bit of a knack. We've seen it a couple times where he goes really deep with it. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And we have seen it be a situation where he just gets it too far away from his team. Waiting it out might be a good thing because your cavalry might be there before the cavalry arrives for Icy Beast.
Yep, very much so.
Oh,
ooh, wow, that Victor laser.
Yeah, that's huge. He's going to find himself getting forced off of this tower.
Just like that, they're forced off the tower, and you know the Mountain Drake lets them come in and well, Baron buff too, but the Mountain Drake lets them come in and finish it off real quick, forces them back, and off the top lane they go. They got themselves another dragon coming up, which will be another Mountain Drake. So that Baron pressure just starts keeping adding up. I don't remember if we had 3 Mountain Drakes last game, but we definitely had 2. This time we have 3.
I also got to say, that was a beautiful wave management. Honestly, work of art coming out from Behavior Check managing those waves because they were able to go from 1 to 1 to 1 without really having to force the wave to go that way or anything like that. They had the wave set up to where they could just crash in. It was just domino effect at that point.
Yeah, and that's what separates these teams, you know, these small advantages that they can generate for themselves by just doing a little bit of homework beforehand, you know? Just setting up the wave correctly before you go and rotate will, you know, help you out big time in the long run. It'll pay some serious dividends, and just like that, being able to take down towers all across the map.
And Buckeyes now, I mean, they're still in turtle stance, but Baron buff is going to be gone in a little bit.
Oh man,
here.
Ahri loses half her health from that Victor laser every single time.
Look at his items, man. I mean, Dev Cap, Lichbane, this thing is, that laser hurts.
Ahri needs a Banshee's Veil and a Zhonya's.
Needs a lot of things. Needs a doctor every time this Victor gets away with that
whoa,
damage. But check this out. Hero just getting walloped upon. The artillery comes on in, but that is a Ragnarok in response to the Glacial Prison. That's a big ability down from the side of the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Glacial Prison on a lower cooldown than the Cannon Barrage, but still relatively long, especially considering the only CDR Sejuani he has is from the 10% the Warm Mugs gives you. So, you know, a lot of big abilities being used out, and, you know, Baron buff's done, but they're still trying to siege on in here.
I mean, look at the minion waves. They actually got some pretty healthy minion waves on the side here, so they have options on how they want to translate this lead over for themselves. ICB's actually getting jumped onto by Gameplay and realize, oh, these barrels, they hurt. They absolutely are filled with gunpowder.
Yeah, and the slow that comes out from the barrels is definitely something that you need to watch out for because it's what allows Gangplank to chase you down because he's a fast boy when he starts proccing things.
Really is. Those barrels, they might not be full of anything like oranges or anything like that, but the damage that they give and that little speed boost he gets at that point, is something deadly to take note of. Icelandic Hero taking a lot of damage off of that. Here's the Glacial Augment coming into
Oh, charm
effect.
hits,
Yeah, a
binding
good
hits.
They
That's
can't
it.
really jump on the shuffles. Not yet, at least.
I mean,
They need to
Rivel could
wear
have
'em down.
ulted in. It would have ended badly for him, but he could have tried.
He could, yeah. You put the words right there. Could have ended badly. Probably would have. That would not have been a pretty situation here. He doesn't want to. He had just the game of his life in the last game, and now he's just like, I don't. No, nah, not today. Not
It's
with
not
that.
not like Swain has his Zanyas or anything like that.
No, not at all. Not like he can just transform into a dragon and just kill it all up. No, not at all, man. Baron is going to be coming up here very shortly. I believe this is the dance to Tanga. This could be the game deciding fight coming up.
Yeah, and you see that Behavior Check has the vision set up once again, so a blue trinket from Kaisa is about all they're going to get, and there it goes. Other than that, they just have to go on in. There's Cannon Barrage, and Camille's teleporting behind them again.
Yeah, here we go. That's the killer instinct to come on out. That's going to be a lot of damage. That's like getting put on in there. That's a lot going on down. That's a lot of damage. But on the backside, the Camille is just wreaking havoc on them. As that is
River's almost dead.
Destroying everybody. Icy Beast is in the back, just annihilating everybody. And it looked like it could have been really good, but it turned out to be just so bad.
Yeah, Icelandic Hero was able to steal the Baron. However, when you all die afterwards, the only thing you got out of it was some gold. And I guess denying it from Behavior Check as they push on in here. They might just try to end. They do have a bit of time. Over 10 seconds left on 2 and over 20 on one more, so we'll see what they're going to be able to do. I think this is it.
Yeah, this has got to be it here. Bad mid laner is too strong. The Swain is too strong. The Olaf is too strong. And Axel playing this game like a completely different person this game around. Just looking phenomenal.
Yeah, the early game, a complete 180 from what happened in game 1 this time. It was Axel being able to pop off and make things happen early on. And that kind of decided the game at that point, honestly. It made it to where Riverl couldn't get going like he did in game number 1. And the scaling pressure from the Victor and the Camille, who was able to contain the Gangplank, even though Gangplank got the kill early on, got that free gifted kill when Shuffles took a couple too many tower shots. And he was able to contain the Gangplank and was able to push into the Gangplank, was able to teleport, find flanks, and do what he needed to do. And Bad Mid Laner had a fantastic game. Shuffles, and I Enjoy Losing, had a fantastic time in the bottom lane as well. So they ran it back with a very similar team comp and made it work this time.
Yeah, they made some small adjustments, and that's all they needed. But now it's going to be the pressure being put onto the Buckeyes over here, as they are going to have to make the adjustments themselves and figure out exactly how do they answer this composition that they are having to fight from Behavior Check here over and over again now. We're going into game 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first night of Upsurge. Be sure not to touch that browsers. We're ending it with one team going home, or well, not going home, but losing tonight. So be sure not to touch that browser and have yourself, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to Game 3 of Upsurge, and we are in Pick and Ban, and that is a Swain that has been banned. Hi, I'm Travesty. I'm joined here by Gus.
Yeah, we were talking during the break of whether or not they were going to ban the Swain, because both games they'd banned Zoe, Yuumi, and Jarvan. So it seemed like they didn't want to let Axel get Jarvan, but they decided to have Shuffles play something else. Ban the Swain, who's been causing them issues, and they're still picking Pantheon first, so we'll have to see what other spicy bottom lane they have with Pantheon, or if that's actually a solo lane Pantheon or a jungle Pantheon.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last game. There's mind games, right? When you see a champion that can be flexed in all sorts of different roles, and you see him constantly being picked in one role, you get it stuck in your head that this champion's going there. There's a mind game to be played there. There's some self-doubt when you're picking your matchup, and Kai'Sa yet again coming out from Buckeyes. I don't see why not. It didn't actually do too terribly bad in game 2.
Yeah, it didn't. It was just he wasn't at the same point that he was in game 1, unable to maneuver his way around the team fights and actually kill people. He was able to auto in a few fights, but he wasn't able to do the same amount of damage, as he'll be paired up with a Nautilus this time.
Alright,
so the Morgana didn't work as well as expected. So counter engage with their own engage. Throw down the dredge line and go for it.
I'm curious to see what will be picked up here, man. If they do decide to send the Pantheon down bot lane again here, curious what the answer would be. J4 getting locked in. No surprise there, I don't think.
Yeah, probably jungle, but you never know. We've seen Jarvan kill lanes in bottom lane before.
Oh god, J4 Pantheon.
Yeah, Jarvan
holds him in place for the Skyfall.
Yeah, Pantheon W's on in, beats him up a little bit, gets the extra attack speed from the Jarvan flag. But yeah, Ohio State answering back with Qiyana once again, just like in game 1. Banning out Taliyah from the looks of it. That's an interesting ban, considering Jarvan and Victor are both picked. They haven't locked in the Taliyah ban just yet.
Unless this
maybe thinking no, it's probably just because they're thinking they're gonna run Pantheon Taliyah. That's probably the thought. I think they would probably have prioritized a little quicker if that's what they were going for. They might have something extra spicy for us, or that might just be Pantheon top and we're just getting baited.
That's what I'm saying, man. The mind games are there. They're inside of your mind. What's up, guys? It's behavior here. We're in your mind. Whoa. They are playing the mind game expertly. This pick ban has been great from them every game. Ashe being banned away here as well. Not wanting to have that coming on in. And Kindred going to be the next ban, it looks like, which makes some sense.
I think Icelandic Hero is going to go back to that Gragas or something else that can affect things early, because that is what helped them with game 1. It will be the Gragas once again for Icelandic Hero, and I think that's the right call, because having him on Sejuani, who can't do the same sort of stuff early that a Gragas can, it showed in the difference of the game state at the 12-13 minute mark.
So I was about to say, there's one unconventional bot laner that wasn't banned here, and that was Neeko, and I was actually really expecting Neeko to get banned, but it didn't happen here, so we are going to see Neeko, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a bot lane Neeko, I think.
Yeah, I mean, top lane Neeko is still a thing. They didn't really change her to the point where it's unplayable, but we'll see what they end up locking in here, as they have a bit of a blind pick towards the top side. Oh,
ooh, wait,
okay.
Hold on.
Is this top Lucian or is this bot Lucian?
Yeah.
Because Lucian's played into Gangplank, right? Like that's kind of the thing, is they're like, you can't pick Gangplank here because we'll throw Lucian top. And we have no problem sending Neeko bottom, you know? Like, if they practiced one unconventional bottom, and they probably practiced a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, Neeko's very strong into the bot lane. Mordekaiser gets this pick. This is a pick that just got some love, and honestly is pretty freaking strong in the right hand.
Yeah, I mean, Mordekaiser is kind of what the juggernauts in season 5 were supposed to be. You know, if you get up on him, he's gonna kill you. If you can kite him around and stay away from him, he has a rough time. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see whether Lucian or Nico goes up top lane. Whichever one they decide has a better matchup into Mordekaiser, I would assume.
Yeah, I would say Nico would definitely be the better matchup, I would imagine. Just because Nico can just... You were just talking about Mordekaiser has to run at him, right? What happens when you just get snared up and Pop Blossom? You know, it's not a fun time if you're Mordekaiser in that scenario. But I'm really excited to see where these champions go. It's more than likely going to be Lucian in the bot lane, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he recently got buffed, right? He got some base AD added back, I believe. So it makes sense, you know. Kai'Sa wants to scale up, and they like playing bully stuff, so Lucian is the ultimate bully ADC. Plus, pair that with the Pantheon. Heck, it might even be Nico support and Pantheon top. You never know. But nope, there it is. There's Nico top lane.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm an avid supporter of Nico's support, even though I end my face off when I do it. But yeah, it's definitely looks like it's going to be a top lane matchup. You just want to match at Mordekaiser. Does well into either the Mordekaiser or the Qiyana, so looks like that's going to be their game plan here. I got to ask you then, we got a standard AD carry in the bot lane out of Behavior. How are you feeling with this Lucian right now, man?
It should be fine. You look at V Shuffles, he's played hundreds of games on normal AD carries. I think it'll be just fine. It comes down to how well they're able to abuse Lucian's early power spikes, because Kai'Sa isn't just some helpless piece of paper in the bottom lane early on. You know, she can put up somewhat of a fight for herself, especially with Nautilus, because Nautilus does a deceptive amount of damage early on, and with all the CC he brings, because not only does his hook CC, but his auto attack's rude as well. And bringing all that damage, and that CC starts stacking up plasma for Kai'Sa, so she's able to pop her passive quickly. And, you know, she's no pushover early game with the correct support.
Yeah, her early game can be something scary. So Lucian and this Pantheon bot lane are going to be looking kind of play around, see what kind of advantages they can pick on up. This is the third game in a row we're seeing a Pantheon support down here in the bot lane, and it looks like they're just going to go straight up kill them as much as they possibly can. As Shuffles and a champion, he can shuffle around with a little bit more mobile for himself.
Yeah, I'm interested that it's very interesting that Pantheon has been played in support, because you look at like pro builds to see where Pantheon is. Pantheon's generally top, sometimes mid. Every once in a while you'll see him in the jungle. I like Pantheon jungle a lot. I think he's kind of like an Olaf, where he does a lot of stuff early on and just brings a lot of raw damage early on and a bit of CC. But I see the merits of playing him solo lanes as well, and it's interesting that him playing as a support has worked this well. So
I'll give
the
you
rework
one
was a
thing.
success.
I'll give you one thing right here. Pro builds might be able to catch the pros, but they can't catch the next level of competition that is the contendies. That is exactly
The fresh fried
what you gotta want.
contendies.
The fresh fried contendies is fantastic. Magnificent, as I believe that's a word that describes pleasurable things. But it's going to be good. I mean, we got a lot of interesting change this year. The Mordekaiser, it's been a long time since I've seen Mordekaiser, and now that they've fixed the Spectator, I'm pretty excited for that myself. But you know what else I'm excited for?
What else are you excited for, Travis?
You know what? I'm excited when I look in the mirror, because you know why I love looking in the mirror. That's right, Gus. I know what you're thinking here. It's because I got the latest swag from Sector 6. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to, you can visit Sector 6 and you can be able to get yourself the finest of Upsurge swag. Me, myself, I would love to accommodate myself with some UCL. I got to represent my contendies, you know? You can also get that Upsurge Esports Pro jersey. So you might not have pro builds, but you got Upsurge builds right on the back of your jersey. You guys can check that out at any time. Sector 6, always a great sponsor for us to actually end up having. They always give us the freshest looking swag. It's always comfortable and it's always fantastic. So if you guys want to make sure you guys look good, you can wear it anywhere you want to. You can wear it to your grandma's house, to prom, to college. You can wear it to your wedding, anywhere.
That's what I was gonna say.
Anytime, man. But with that being said, you just need to go to Sector 6 Apparel. That's SectorSixApparel.com. And you can go to our collections and check out upsurge.esports in our collections, and be sure to check us on out. But with that being said, while you guys go get yourself some fresh swag and make sure you guys look all sorts of fresh, we're going to take ourselves a short break so we can get ready for this game 3. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're on game 3, the game decider of this series. We got Buckeyes on the red side. We got Behavior Check on the blue side. Who's going to win? Let us know in Twitch chat. But for that being said, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name's Travis D. I'm joined here by Gus. We've been your co-casters for the entire evening. If you don't know that right now, where have you been?
They're probably getting married with some Upsurge swag, dude.
Yeah, Upsurge swag. You gotta bring the tide, man. Bring
Look,
the
for
tide,
the
and
they're doing this invade again.
look at this. Shuffles learned. He's like,
Look,
put down the
question
water.
mark ping. Oh man. He's like, come on, guys, you're better than this.
Not again. I don't fall for the same shit trick twice. Come on.
Oh man.
So, very good wardage to come out here. They're gonna know which side they're starting here. There's 2 J4s up in the top side. They don't know that though.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, it's on hit Nico, something we haven't seen like in pro play for a long time. I think since like Spring Split was the last time we saw on hit Nico. But
yeah, it took some nerves.
it kind of makes sense because like you were saying, you can kind of run Mordekaiser pretty good as Nico, root him up. So being able to just sit there and auto him over and over and over and over, press the attack and beat him up pretty good.
Mm-hmm. You get to hit him with the break their Nico kneecaps, man, is what the name of it is. We're seeing some exchanges of red buffs coming out here. Mordekaiser, Lamau. He's like, hey, Lamau, your red buff's gone as well. So I'm gonna see some vertical jungling coming out here, I believe.
Yeah, but Badminton Laner has to recognize that Gragas is still down there on the bottom side and can probably try to gank him after he's done with these Raptors, but instead looks like he's gonna go for a full clear on that bot side jungle, and once again we got early aggression coming out of this Pantheon support.
They gotta really be careful here. Getting too overly aggressive with this Gragas. You saw he didn't go mid lane, so that gives you an idea of where he went to, but not gonna get caught by the dredge line there.
I have been hit by a Nautilus hooks farther away than that. I'm surprised that one didn't at least hit the wall.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, honestly. Gragas is going to leave a little crook as he's trying to get on the way. Staying around towards the bot side vicinity, but he knows he needs to get his clear going. A little bit, yet again, just like the last game, these teams have filled each other out, so they kind of have an idea. Hey, we need to make sure we don't jump in and do anything too terribly crazy early on.
Yeah, because that's been how teams have started losing when they just overreach just a little bit too far. The other team takes advantage and snowballs it far beyond what anyone imagined. And we saw Pantheon go in and check for Jarvan to see if the Krugs were there. He says nope. And Jarvan's like, all right, gotta go take Lord Gromp then.
Yeah, because he didn't clear anything on Gragas' side. It's a very big thing to take note of. So Gragas actually getting a little bit of an advantage in terms of farming up the camps here. He's got more to play with, more food to have.
Yeah, he's probably closer to level 4. He's probably essentially level 4, you gotta imagine, compared to Jarvan, who just dinged 3 before he backed. Yep, there's level 4 on Gragas, so bit of an experience lead here for Icelandic Hero. We'll see if he's able to actually convert it into anything. So he's taking the Scuttle Crab down on the bottom side, because in game 1, he is already 2-0 at this point.
Yeah, he had to be fair, Shuffles found himself also 0-2 at this point. And he didn't even make it into lane yet. It was a tragedy to experience and see. And
junglers gonna run into each other, I think.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They know, by the way, that Gragas has not cleared Krugs. I see Beast for a moment there threw the clone over to the Krug, so they knew that he hadn't gone over there just yet.
Yeah, and that is the camp that has the most experience, especially once it is cleared the first time. Then it comes back as a higher level and we'll have way more experience. And looks like they're just kind of tussling around these Raptors here.
Yeah, just having a little tussle, man. Look, we in the Contender League. There's chickens involved. And just playing a game of Chicky Doo over there at the chickens. They're gonna go meet each other at the other chickens, I think. I don't want to do that. Is it gonna be the Chicky Doo? They're going for
We're
a
fighting at my chickens. We're gonna go fight at your chickens. Let's go.
Oh wait, actually, J4 taking an aggressive route right here. Look at where
he's saying, hey, I can root up this Mordekaiser. I can beat him up. You can come in and we can get him.
Now here we go in the mid lane. That is going to be a lot of damage going on to bad mid laner. The gravity field not going to be able to get the stun. Has the barrier to keep him alive, but it's going to be first blood spilled in the mid lane. Oh, just not in time. But Axel is going to be able to pick up the kill on a Lamau. That is going to be gank tapping in on opposite sides, but just able to.
Yeah, I was watching top lane, but you gotta imagine that it was the Earth element on the Kiana Q that does the execute damage that ended up finishing off bad mid laner. And here she goes with the root. It has level 6 now as well, but not going to go in too crazy for Axel here.
We need to talk about the fact of how J4 and Kiana's interaction could be, but I might have to wait for a little bit. Shuffle's just going to jump in and get really aggressive.
Wow,
the Ignite is taken away. The Ignite is there. It's not going to be enough. Rebels is going to be able to pick up that kill. I enjoy losing. Going to be able to trade back for himself, but here comes Icelandic Hero. He's got the flash. He's got the body slam. But
oh man, what a flash.
That was beautifully well played there from I Enjoy Losing. Perfectly timed flash.
That's just kind of how you have to play against Gragas. You just kind of have to respect the fact that he can flash on you whenever during his E and stun you up. You just kind of have to respect flash it. If he E'd into the minion wave, I Enjoy Losing probably still would have flash, to be honest with you, because of just how much power goes into that from Gragas. But bit of a collapse trying to come on in here, but nothing happening.
Yeah, not much that's gonna happen. Bad mid lane almost finding himself in the catch. Oh, it's
no!
Gonna happen. The flash dread line coming on out.
Can he escape?
In range, the gravity field, the last tick of it was able to keep Cleveland at bay.
I think Ohio Luigi could have used the supreme display of talent on either of those walls there, and it probably would have finished him off, or at least stunned him up to allow them to try to finish him off. But either way, Bad Mid Laner found a way out of there when he had no business finding a way out of that.
Yeah, it has been a... That was a very scary moment. I was just thinking, bad mid laner, you're in a bad spot. I guess they're not going to catch you out, and never mind. Here's the flash. But very good on them. They were in the middle of retreating and almost picked up a kill out of that. So very good on them to be able to pick that one up. There's also a pretty big CS differential that's been growing in the mid lane, too.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the nature of the matchup, because Victor has a very easy time of bullying around the Qiyana, who has to use her abilities from far away to try to CS without taking just a ton of poke from Victor. And Victor's able to clear waves just like we saw before, especially once he has the E evolved, and it's pretty standard fare for him to be up by this much, about 15, 19, almost 20 here and there. So yeah, pretty much par for the course as far as CS leads go there. And up in the top lane, I'm surprised that Mordekaiser has been able to pick up as much CS as he is, because you'd think Nico would have him a lot lower health just sitting there wailing on him.
Oh, here we go. They're jumping onto the Pantheon there. Not going to be able to get it. They want to jump onto Shuffles. That is exactly what they want. They want to stop hitting this Pantheon, because Shuffles, they start getting him down. He's the squishy target, and he found himself getting out damaged by Rivel in that last bit of action, that last trade.
I also do like how Pantheon saved his Aftershock. Knew that they weren't going to go all in on him, and if they did, he could always W someone and get the Aftershock, whereas Nautilus is just kind of forced to use his whenever he hooks someone.
He has the option of when and where he wants to use his Aftershock. Some people aren't as fortunate. Dredgeline almost connected onto B Shuffles. Now they're going to look to turn this advantage on around. Cleveland is going to be using the depth charge. They're going to jump onto Shuffles. Shuffles is going to be able to kite on back and get on out of there. That's going to be the culling.
Calling, though.
It's going to find himself in a large amount of damage. He's in a world of pain, and he's going to find himself going on down. Now A is going to find himself getting caught up by
no!
Going to send I Enjoy Losing to the Shadow Realm, as he is going to be looking to pick up a kill on his way on out the door, and he is going to be able to secure that on for himself. Very well played from A. Lamau.
Yeah, that was a fantastic use of the ultimate to dodge out on the Pop Blossom. Dropped I Enjoy Losing's life points down to 0 and sent him to the Shadow Realm.
That is, A. Lamau being able to pop him in. First time getting to see it since they changed it on the spectator plug, and it feels great. Icelandic hero.
Close.
Man, you've been dieting, and you see the counter effects of it. You need to let your belly get bigger if you're going to play Gragas, all right? You got to make sure your hitbox is there. Oh, man, now we are...
Looks like they'll just get a little bit of a consolation prize in the Infernal Drake, which is doubly effective on Kai'Sa. AP and AD scalings.
Great. Get it. Get that Infernal, like you said. Double scaling. Always... Never a bad thing. I don't think a Kai'Sa's ever heard scaling and winced away at it, you know?
Definitely not.
Now we're kind of looking at builds and whatnot as we're going into this game now. Getting a little bit further along. We're starting to see builds come out. I'm kind of curious on what we're going to see this Mordekaiser kind of build into up here in the top lane.
Looks like it'll probably be Protobell.
They are really trying to force this gank.
Wow.
I don't know if they want to. Dredgeline is going to connect. They're going to use the stopwatch. Hatzel's still in a bad spot. They get the time to body slam. That's the cast. And it looks like poetry in motion as Shuffles is going to find himself in a bad spot. And a double kill goes over to River. That's the depth charge. The killer instinct to come on out. I don't know if that flash is going to be #worth. As that is going to be a triple kill. Falling to River all the same.
They tried to force that just so very hard. Axel Flash was not in range for the Cataclysm. I think that's what he was going for, was trying to flash Cataclysm, but it just wasn't there, and the counter gank was very expertly done by Icelandic Hero, and it got Rivril 3 kills. He got every single last one of those kills.
I just want to know what was going through his mind on why he felt like he had to force that so bad. I mean, that was just flashes galore being blown bot lane there, and all for the hope of landing an ability that you're going to be out of range to hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe they realize that, hey, Lucian's power spike is dwindling. Kaisa has Manamune already, has Berserker Greaves already. Lucian does not even have Blade of the Ruin King completed just yet. Or I guess Kaisa didn't have that completed, but she had items. You know, the Lucian pick did not bear the fruit that you would have wanted it to. And maybe they felt a little desperate to try and make something happen, to try and keep this Lucian going, because a behind Lucian is not that much of a threat.
Hmm. Yeah, it is not. I know there's the scaling build that you see from Lucians now, where they kind of get that crit chance and start popping people with those, and you can scale up a little bit like that, but it's not as effective as something like a Kai'Sa, like you were talking about. Especially now they have an Infernal. Now we got a 4-man party down here in the bot lane. This could be an interesting scenario.
Yeah, they're gonna set on up for it. The only ward from behavior
Oh,
check.
Axel, he's gonna jump on in. This is gonna be a big mistake. They're looking to get the fight. He is gonna be in Knockup City, but not a lot of damage gonna be laid onto him because he had.
Yeah, only a
his
one-man
up.
Kiana ult. One-man Kiana ult results in nobody going down. And here comes Victor down from the mid lane to try and make sure that they don't get much else here. They might try to push on in, but Killer Instinct was used. Still Flash is available, but they're gonna get this tower, get all the plates off of it. So good job forcing that, but it could have been a lot more had the execution been just a little bit better on the side of Ohio State.
Really good on. I enjoy losing there, by the way, too, because he did put up his shield right before he got tangled up in that display of talent and power and all that great stuff. The supreme display of talent. Uh, it was one of those things where he put the shield up and it nullified all the damage I was getting himself. Like that was
Yeah,
really
so
good on
it
his
was
part.
essentially a 0-person ultimate out of Ohio Luigi, which is very unfortunate because that is a good chunk of Kiana's burst, is that 10% of their health that's done. But uh-oh,
Bye.
sending him back onto Reykjavik.
Icelandic Heroes is like, I just wanted Skittle, man.
I feel like he might have seen Icy Beast, maybe? You hope he didn't, because he just kept walking on in, but it looked like Icy Beast was already on the scuttle or positioning for it, so either way, goes down. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald in response.
Sometimes, man, Scuttle is just too juicy of a target, man. You just look at it and that's all you can think about. It's just, that Scuttle. I mean, that's how I feel when I'm a jungle, man. I'm just, give me that Scuttle. Give me that XP. Give me that gold. Give it to me. But, I want to see what this is going to go to because this is actually just a 2K deficit between the two teams here, and I wouldn't say it's a very comfortable lead. All the same, Shuffles is getting jumped onto. Here we go, the Killer Instinct being used, and Riverol feeling very, very comfortable, and I enjoy losing. Gonna find himself in a very, very poor position. Pop Blossom, but Ripple is gonna find himself down to the Chaos Storm. It's gonna be two. Mordekaiser's here to provide backup, but it's not gonna be enough as 3 members get wiped at the cost of 2.
Yeah, and that's the one saving grace for behavior check, considering how fed Riverol is in this game, is that Victor scales very well also. And, you know, on-hit Nico's not going to be doing as much in team fights as a Kaisa would, but having a Nico, on-hit Nico with all of her on-hit items is no slouch in terms of DPS either. So they do have some win conditions still, especially if Victor gets to the point where he can one-shot Riverol, or at least force her to back way out of a fight. Then he will accomplish his job.
And you see Shelly just walking on over to the top side. You're not going to be able to stop me from charging into this tower.
Nope,
Shelly
she got it off.
Yeah, got the charge. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Shelly got to achieve her dream. We're all here watching League of Legends. Great time. Heads tech flash over the wall. Cleveland takes the tower shot. That is the fanciest tower shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, he just kind of stood there just like, hello. And
hello,
yeah.
it's me. I am Nautilus. How may I take a tower shot?
I was waiting for the Cleveland show theme to come on out, but
yeah, you know, I could have done it. I could have done it. I still haven't given anybody the signature Cleveland catchphrase. Here comes another hit stack. Oh, juked them with that one.
I was waiting for the no.
Oh, trust me, I'm sure I'll get a window for that one. Oh man, now it's just becoming a little bit of a vision war now. Both teams trying to secure vision and def brushing as their to their heart's content at this point in time. We have seen both teams constantly, especially Scarlet Buckeyes. They have just been saying, "All right, we're in a bush. Nobody can see us except for this ward that we're inconspicuously on top of."
They figured it out.
Oh,
They went, all right, guys, pack it in. We got found out.
Cleveland head stack flashed over another wall there, and it's really catching me off guard.
Hey, it's so tempting to just use Hex Flash off a cooldown, especially when you're the support. You've got nothing better to do, you know?
Yeah, you're just
like
chilling. I don't got no more wards. What am I doing? Oh, wait.
Whoa!
That's on out there. They're going in deep. That's going to be the depth charge that's going to be coming out. The gravity field is there. Only going to be able to get that stun onto one. Axel is looking deep for the kill. He's going to go ahead and smite on forward to be able to pick up that kill for himself. Now is the Shadow Realm mad? Mid lane.
Oh, that damage, though.
The damage coming on out. You cannot assist them here. The Pop Blossom's going to be able to come on out.
But he's
it's not
1v4.
enough damage as he is going to find himself going on down, trying to support his teammate in the Shadow Realm there. Man, oh man, that is a realm of death that you do not want to tread.
What feels bad about that is Victor put down his stun field in the Shadow Realm. Then when it ended, Mordekaiser didn't even get stunned because it ran out and it stays where it gets placed. It's just a minor thing, but you know, in that situation, you're just hoping, all right, maybe he's stunned when he leaves, so that way my team can do something. And not even that happens. And that's just one of those small but demoralizing things. It just makes you go, ah, man, not even that went right.
Just a big old Pepe hands moment for sure.
Yeah.
That game has been speeding up here in the mid game for sure. We're getting to that 20-minute mark coming up here very, very shortly. So Baron's going to come into play, and with the game being fast-paced, you can imagine we're going to see a lot more vision control coming around this Baron pit here just very shortly.
Yeah, but one thing that feels really bad for Behavior Check is that the person with the most kills on their team is the tank Jarvan. Like, sure, he's got Stone Plate already. He can go in and be disruptive, but when he's got most of your team's gold, it's not by a lot. Nico's only 100 gold down from him, but when your tank Jarvan has all the kills and has all the gold, it feels bad. Because just imagine if Victor had 4 kills right now. He'd probably already have Lich Bane done. He'd be working on that Rabadons again, and Riveril would be under way more threat than he actually is in these fights.
That is the ultimate cheeky bait that they just did. Let's put out a vision ward over here. They gotta come hit it.
Yep.
They're
Someone's
patient.
gonna walk up, get hit by the depth charge, and then just blown up. It's gonna happen.
Flashes off cooldown, man. Flash auto attack. The real move. A real CC right there.
They're just waiting because they got that scuttle. They can't just run onto the Baron and force it out. There will be some sort of indication. But that mid laner.
Yeah, he's gone out. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the crew.
Pantheon's here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be here very long. He's dead. Goodbye. He is jumping in at the slightest sign of trouble. That Grand Starfall is not looking so grand right now.
It was very grand. You can't tell me that a buff man riding a comet is not majestic, alright?
And you know what? The comet blocks the view is all I'm going to say. Looking for a position to try and get in there for the steal. Great zoning coming on out. They're trying to see what they'll be able to do. Here comes the Pop Blossom. ICP is going to be able to pick up one. There's going to be it. They get the steal. Axel is able to get the Baron. She's going to have to give up his life for it. But that is going to be a Baron that they are not going to be able to have, and that's going to be in the hands of Behavior Check. Excellent, well played by Axel.
Yeah, you'd think that Alamel Zedong would be able to ult him while Baron was still alive, so that way he couldn't even attempt to steal it, but obviously that didn't end up happening, so good stuff from Axel to be able to steal that I'm not sure how many people got. Let's see, got 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3 people still got Baron. So that is definitely something that Behavior Check can cling on to here. As more things go down, another dragon will go down, a tower will go down. But you know, Victor needs to get himself some items because he's the only one who can threaten Riverel right now.
Now I saw Greg is actually body slamming out of the pit, by the way, there, and I know he doesn't have flash, so I think that's another reason too that we have to really take note. Is it's just like the trade-off of, yep, you body slammed out of the pit to stop the enemy jungler from taking it, but you didn't kill him.
Yeah, that's what he was going for, was just to kill Jarvan just to make sure, because body slam's on low enough cooldown to where he probably could have gotten back in had everything worked out correctly. And you know, it's just those little tiny bits of miscommunication. Or maybe it was just nerves. Maybe he thought he could get it all. You know, go in, kill the Jarvan, 100% secure the Baron, look like the amazing hero that he has been.
The highlight reel play, right? Add the clip to my highlight reel.
Exactly. And when it doesn't work out, then you just kind of sit there and go, well, damn. You could use some more colorful language than that, but not on this program.
I'll avoid that colorful language. But it does turn into a situation where we do need to see what this Behavior Check do now, because the Baron buff has basically just been, all right, we have it and you don't, and that's the main purpose of it. They haven't really done anything with it besides Nico split pushing, and Nico's even about to get caught out here.
Yeah, Baron Recall should do just fine.
Yep, got out. Lamau didn't.
Yeah, you are definitely right there. Getting that Baron buff was purely for denial. There's not really a way for them to make use of it unless they get a miracle team fight. Because while Victor isn't as far ahead as you would hope, if Riveril ends up in the middle of the Chaos Storm stunned up and a laser hits him, he's probably going to die. And then at that point, then Behavior Check can look to try and do something. But not a whole lot of time is left on the Baron buff. So they'll need to try to make something happen just like that.
Ooh, that was so quick. Blink and you missed what just happened, but that was an exchange of summoners that could have ended very badly for Buckeyes here.
Well, they're in Ohio, which is relatively close to Chicago, so I'm sure they got that 20 ping or so, just 20-30 ping. Should be no problem to flash out of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they got those reflexes on lock with that, man. They are land ready at that point in time. As we are seeing these junglers kind of just secure their area a little bit. Key thing to take note of, look at the vision actually coming out from the two teams and compare the two, though.
Yeah, it's definitely the aggressive vision from the Buckeyes, and what little defensive vision that Behavior Check can put out, they have done. They're just kind of making sure that no one sneaks up behind Nico, and that's about it. That's all they can. That's all the far up they can go safely right now. Is just barely past the base. Without, like, they need 3 people to take the blue buff right now. That is how far behind they are.
They got this squad, you know, they rolled up with their homies there.
Cleveland's coming on in here. Might look to try and make an engage on Axel when he walks on by here.
Could look for it. He's thinking about it. He's going to go for it. That is going to be the stone plate. That's going to be pot, and that's going to be Demacia as the Warcry. They are going to have to use the explosive cast to go ahead and push them on away. The Storm laying out the damage. Lamau had the TP on in. I enjoy losing. Taking a little bit of damage, but nothing critical.
Yeah, and you saw just how little damage Axel actually does here, even though he's got the kills and the levels. He popped Stone Plate and ulted, and I don't think it actually did any damage to Cleveland. I think he was just in there. I don't think it actually did anything.
Yeah, that's how it feels to be a Nautilus player. Let's be fair. You're constantly in the state of, I don't think that did anything to me.
Pot Blossom!
Still going to be looking at it. The flash wasn't enough, and ICB's going to be able to pick up that kill in the side lane.
Mordekaiser has his
ult. Try and stop this. Lamau going to get stopped from going in there. He was a man on a mission, but not today.
Yeah. if it was a fair fight in the Shadow Realm, I think ICBs could win. But since when Mordekaiser ults you, it steals the stats right then and there. That it means that it's very hard for ICBs to actually contest Mordekaiser in the 1v1. Even with the Wit's End, all that extra healing and magic resist that's coming out from that, I don't know if he can win a fight in the Shadow Realm. He's gonna need a QSS, and probably Shuffles is gonna need one as well.
Yeah, he better bring a Millennium item if he wants to contest that, but that's going to be a Chaos Thunder.
That mid-laner flashed on in!
It's going to be in a bad spot now. It's going to be a Lamau in the back line. He's laying out damage. He's got 3 targets that he's having to deal with. He's going to throw people into the Shadow Realm, but it's not going to be enough there, as he's going to find himself getting shut down by ICB. Now the Kai'Sa is still alive, still looking to input as much damage as possible. Predator has been used, the Flag and Dragon being used to dissuade any kind of action, any kind of recourse. There are so many low HP bars. You need to dodge that and avoid Seeker to connect here today. They are still looking for action to be able to get the catch onto a prime target. The killing spree comes.
They swapped sides,
and it is in a dangerous spot. They are looking to rout them. They are looking to push them on out of here. Qiyana looking to go for the cutoff. Look for the play, has a supreme display of talent to show off here today. Is going to be able to pick up one. Is not going to be able to get the stun onto anybody else there, though, as bad mid laner is going to get the revenge kill. The chase continues. They are looking for it. Cue the Benny Hills music, and they are looking for blood, but it is finally going to be dissuaded.
I am amazed that after Lucian died, when they ran through the jungle, that ended in a 1-for-1. Like, Lucian died, and then past that, they were able to get out going even. You know, overall, it was a great kind of situation for Ohio State, but they were able to make it out. That's crazy.
The
you
craziest
sit
thing
there
was
and you
just
watch. You watch them. They're in enemy lines. They're in the jungle. It's like Vietnam all over again, and they make it out.
I mean, it was just run and gun from both sides, trying to get whatever they could as they were trying to, one side trying to pursue, one side trying to run. It was a terrifying moment for both teams because one mistake cost you your life. As you can see, you caught somebody and then you immediately die for it. It becomes a scary scenario. Now Baron is up on the plate yet again. 3K difference on the table, and a bunch of dragons. Axel getting caught out, Flag and Dragon on the way.
Yeah, and you know, if the game goes on for longer, Axel should probably think about investing in a QSS as well, just so if he goes for a Baron steal and Mordekaiser ults him, then he's able to get out and try to smite it. And Nico has Infinity Edge. I just noticed that.
Yep, popping people. Nico knee, breaking your kneecaps and your face hole.
Huh, I'm interested if she's gonna go with some Zeal items afterwards or something. And look at what the Muramana damage on that W does.
Look at this.
Look how quick the Baron's going down. He's gone.
Yeah. This time, Dragon's just like, I don't need to be at Baron this time. I'm just going to dissuade him from here. I'm here for the smite and nothing else.
Yeah, the Mordekaiser passive with the Leandries doing all that percentage health damage to Baron really made it burn down quick.
Oh man, now Axel, everybody on the side of Behavior Chat, they are in a tough situation. The Baron is here and they are crashing it on down into this mid lane.
Yeah, and while Victor's wave clear is fantastic, that is exactly what the Baron buff is designed for, is to prevent that from happening. The real Nico got hit, forced out the Pop Blossom.
That is terrifying. You get tagged by the Mordekaiser, you have to pop your Blossom.
And I didn't even notice, because so much has been happening, but the Buckeyes have 3 air drakes, so they are really fast coming into this. It makes it really easy for
Gragas to but here we go. They're looking for some fast and furious plays. They're going to jump onto Riverell over here on the bat side, but he's thrown into the other dimension here, as A. Lamau is going to be able to pick up that kill. Now the damage is getting traded on back. Riverell is able to stay safe throughout all of that. And even though they pick up 1 kill, Luigi dying off screen there. Still, it's looking like in a bad spot. Riverell still alive, still fine.
Yeah, it's still a win for Ohio State, though. They're able to push in and get this inhibitor. They might not try to end the game, considering a couple of them are about half health. They'll just rotate on down here to bottom lane and try to push in for this. But there's a Nico with an Infinity Edge in your way, and full health members are coming back from behavior check.
Oh, they know where Nico is. They need to be careful about this. Nico is caught out. They know exactly where they are. Is going to pop the blast plant, trying to run away. Might just try to waste a little bit of time here, but oop, Icy Beast giving them a little fake out. But they do save their base for a little bit longer, and you know how the game goes, man. The game's not over until it's over.
Yeah, them saving the tower, especially down there in that bottom lane, was huge. Because with an open inhib, Mordekaiser can just be down there and chill down there because someone's gonna have to answer him because he pushes very quickly. The Q does a lot of damage going through, and he should just be down there. And the only person that can really answer is Nico at this point, I think. Maybe with the Infinity Edge, but Mordekaiser building very smartly, built the Randuins just to make sure that Nico doesn't have that extra damage, reducing that critical damage of whatever that Infinity Edge would give.
Very big to take note of is who do you send against the Mordekaiser is the question. Nico is the answer that they're going to have to stick with, but is it the answer you need? This is a big carry on the team at this current point in time. While somebody else really able to really put that performance in. Enjoy is going to go on down. He is caught out, and that is going to be his death. That is going to be tower starting to fall. The Mordekaiser pushing in the bot lane. They don't have anybody they can send. They got to go for this last-ditch effort. They're going to jump on in. Riverroll's going to be dominating. Going to be able to pick up that one kill. Now Riverroll trying to pick up another kill onto the backside. That's going to be a
man.
Come on out. He's going to have ICB sent over to another dimension, having some damage being put onto him. Riverroll's in preparation to try and auto and try and get the damage on out. He's hungry for another kill here. Is going to be able to get it. That is going to be the ace coming on out. And the Buckeyes looking good in game 3 as they're going to be able to pick it up and pick up the series win.
Yeah, and just like that, very methodical coming in, but that last fight, just Pantheon getting caught out. Then the numbers game, they just pour right on in, and a very good couple of games here for the Buckeyes. Game 2 had its moments where things just didn't go their way, but games 1 and 3, very well played by them because 1 and 3 could have gone either way the way things were in the mid game. Just the Buckeyes did what they needed to do. They understood their comp and what it needed to do to function and played to that strength and made it happen.
100% agreed. I mean, they really just they ran it back and they said, you know what worked for us last time when we had a 17 1 and 7 Kai'Sa. You know what? Let's just repeat that. It got the 14-3-7. And you were talking about it earlier too about in the draft where Icelandic Hero getting a champion where he can have a bit more of an early impact. We got to see that yet again. Him on Gragas is a much different situation than him on Sejuani.
Yeah, very much so. And, Shuffles didn't do as well on the Lucian as he did with the Swain. And, that's what you pick the Lucian for, is the very early bullying. And if you can't accomplish it, it's honestly kind of a wasted pick. It can scale in relatively okay with the Essence Reaver and the Infinity Edge afterwards. But when you're against a Kai'Sa, you want to be able to make use of the early power spikes and make sure that you put the Kai'Sa down for as long as possible. And that just didn't happen here in game 3.
It sure didn't. It sure didn't. With that being said, man, I feel like you and me, we need to give a series MVP here. I believe that is only right for the day 1 of a brand new season of Upsurge. And I think I have mine, and I'm pretty sure you would agree with me.
It's got to be Ohio Luigi, right, Keppa? No, he played very well with what he had for himself. It's not to disparage him at all.
Yeah.
But it comes down to Icelandic Hero and Riverroll, and the numbers don't lie, and it spells disaster for Icelandic Hero because Riverroll absolutely popped off on Kai'Sa.
I think game 1 alone is like a freaking montage reel. Like Riverroll should go back and just save those clips and be like, whenever he's trying out for a team, he's just like, look at this time on Kai'Sa. Check this out. And just show him what he's able to do with the resources all in his hands and how he's able to move around on the champion. Did great I have to see how he does in future games because I don't know if he'll get Kaisa in future games. But with that being
I was
said,
honestly surprised he got Kaisa all 3 games tonight, to be completely honest with you.
I'm with you on that one. I'm actually with you on that one. With that being said, I mean, I think we're about done for tonight. I want to give a shout out to our lovely sponsors that keep the Upsurge Dream alive. Make sure that the tide has plenty of flow in it. Shout out to our streamer who came in and had his first night tonight. He did a cute thing. Drop some hearts for him down in the chat if you would, because he did an absolute fantastic job. And also, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who came out to the Twitch chat, was talking, was chatting, and was enjoying some good old League of Legends. With that being said, my name is Travesty. I was joined here by Guster Posey, and we are clocking out for the night. Peace.
Have a good one.